And welcome to the UGO podcast, guys. Oh my god, I'm so excited. We got another superhero episode I'm very excited about, but a little bit different this time. This is going to be anime superheroes. This is going to be our My Hero Academia episode, basically.
There's no real way of, combining those two words together, though.
Which two words?
Superhero and anime? There's no good...
Super anime.
Yeah.
I believe they call it Sentai.
I mean, yeah, that would be a different word, though. It's not a combination of the two words. That's just the Japanese word for it.
But who's talking about extremely Japanese men in tightly fitting, leather suits? Why, it's me, Nick the Merc with a mic, and my fellow Unapologists,
Travis.
And our guest news correspondent,
Totu Sentai, Justin.
And yes, we are actually going to have Otabro Ed on later in this episode. Hopefully. We haven't recorded with him yet, but hopefully that'll work out this week.
In the future, when
you are listening to this.
Well, in the past when I'm listening to it.
Yeah, because we recently finished up My Hero Academia's second season. So we are going to be talking about that a little bit. A really fun show.
Everyone talking about that one. It's really apparently a big deal.
Pretty good.
Yeah, it is really good. You're even if you're not into anime, it's pretty much it follows the storyline of basically X-Men mixed with a little bit of Harry Potter.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a pretty fun time. Including scary animation style of people's faces and everything. Just unbelievably frightening. But yeah, before that, we got, of course, the news, and of course, I want to try and get some trailer talk done today, a little bit later, because I know we got the Slender Man trailer and something called Truth or Dare. That
sounds like a generic horror movie.
Or you could talk about good trailers.
Yeah.
But
oh man, I want to. We got to watch the Truth or Dare trailer. Have you seen it yet, Travis?
No.
Oh my god, it's so fucking. It's so funny. We gotta. We'll catch it in a little bit.
All right.
But yeah, let's see what else has been going on with the week, guys. How's everybody been? Justin, how you been, buddy?
Good. I am back in New York right now. I just had a great vacation, and now it's back to life. Going to school. I got to pick out classes. Funny enough, I'm trying to fill my schedule with no-brainer classes because I have to work on my thesis. And sure enough, one of the minor semi-grad level classes I saw. The art of podcasting.
Nice.
So
nice.
Yeah, it's a 1-credit class. I have to take it in correlation with some voiceover classes, but I'm like, hey, it sounds easy. But
I think you can manage.
I think I can manage just a little bit. But things are going well. I got a PlayStation 4 for Christmas.
Woohoo!
And I have been playing the heck out of Uncharted 4. And I know somehow I've remained all this time unspoiled on Uncharted 4.
He has a brother that no one knew about the whole time, Justin.
Well, okay, that one I knew from the get-go. But yes, I've managed to not see anything about the ending or this fantastic conclusion everyone says. So I'm like, I really want to see how good it is. And so far, I'm really, really liking it a lot.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what it is, just Troy Baker and Nolan North will be in every video game together forever now. What is it, the last 7 games they've teamed up and stuff?
Yeah, well, they're very prolific voice actors. I mean, all the voice actors are very prolific with how the industry is. But Nolan North and Troy Baker, especially in video games, are my god. They just
well, geez, you ever look at Nolan North's IMDb credits for video games? It goes on forever.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, for video games, for for animation and that stuff. But yeah, even together, they've been in a bunch of games together. I guess they just really like working with each other.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, they sell that brothership too, because that's the one thing you gotta accept about Uncharted 4 is that they do the long lost brother storyline out of a fucking soap opera
that we never talked about. Yeah, in 3 other games,
and they love each other and they have this huge relationship, but yet we've never heard about him in the other 3 games. Ever.
Nope.
Yeah, well, I mean, because there's the two things that conflict with that. It's so Sully seems to know Sam, so at least they must have met at some point. And then that flashback in 3 where Nate first meets Sully, apparently that just never came up until now. Just oh, by the way, yeah, I have a brother. It's just sure, okay.
Yeah, they treated just all the characters knew these guys. We just never mentioned it.
Mm-hmm. Just wrote them in. Yeah.
Every time we mentioned him, you were in the bathroom play when the cutscene was playing. Trust us.
That would be great. That one little bit where they show that wipe across the cutscenes, but in between that time, just oh man, I miss Sam. Okay, moving on. Just
how'd your Crash Bandicoot playthrough go? Forgot how hard those games were, didn't you?
I never actually played Crash Bandicoot before, so that was my very first time ever playing Crash Bandicoot.
And they give you one of the hardest levels from the first game too, because it's backwards from what you're used to.
That's actually one of the first levels.
Yeah, what's your point?
It's such a disorientating camera angle, like to walk towards the screen. It's really, it's just unintuitive in terms of the design.
Yeah, I mean, they should have given me some Warped. I'd play some shit out of some Warped. I remember being really good at that one. I think it was. I
wish they made me play Jack and Daxter. They own that game, so
true.
Yeah, I think they wanted to go back to their roots, though.
Yeah, they also own Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah,
I know.
They want to go back to the OG, like, this is where Naughty Dog first originated, like, yeah.
Although, you know what they say about Sony and their product placement in all their their properties? Sure enough, the last cutscene I just watched, there's a giant close-up on a Sony phone. I'm just like...
Subtle.
Let's see, what have we been doing, Travis? We've been catching up on Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yes, since I finally decided, you know what? I should watch this show, since everyone always complains that I have not watched this show.
So how are you liking it?
It's great. I mean, like I said before, I knew I was going to like it going in because it's such a popular show. I'm like, yeah, I've seen it give so many times, like, yep, it's funny. Just watched the 4th Halloween episode.
Oh, with Gina.
Yes.
Yeah, where she goes for the gold.
So that was pretty good.
Yep, I love the Halloween episodes. I'm reminded about all the seasonal episodes, like the Thanksgiving and Halloween and Christmas ones. Those are always really good.
Was watching the end of season 3, and for some reason Hulu skipped the last episode and brought me right to season 4. So I was like, wait a second, what? I feel like I missed a spot. Last episode I watched, they were in trouble, and now they're in Florida. I mean, they're still in trouble because they're in Florida, but still, I feel like I missed a step. So I had to go back and find out what happened, because I was waiting for like a flashback, and it never came. I was like, nope, just gotta go watch that episode.
Yeah, they make fun of Florida really hard in that one of those in that season opener, I think.
To be fair, have you been to Florida?
Oh my god, where'd you get that gun? Like, oh, well, I got it from Street Dealer, like, right when we got here.
Where'd you get that gun?
Where'd you get that gun? Oh, it was in the Lost and Found. They're like, they're everywhere here. Yeah, I really love that show. Like, I realize that it does the classic archetypes of a lot of the characters, but it does, all of them are on, like, firing on all cylinders. Like, Boyle is, like, one of the best pathetic kind of sad sack characters I've ever seen. Only he's not a sad. I think that what sells it is he's not a sad sack.
No, he is like so optimistic, it's disgusting.
He's so upbeat that it's fantastic to watch him overcome all those adversity.
I mean, I saw the one where his ex-wife held his sperm hostage. I'm like, how is that a situation you even get into?
We need to see the sperm. We need proof of life.
They're holding the sperm hostage.
I've always wanted to get into this series because I like a lot of the actors in it. But my one biggest stumbling block, and I know it's me personally, I just freaking hate Andy Samberg. I don't think he's funny at all.
He's not very funny in a lot of the other movies he's been in, but this really one he pulls it off.
I've seen a couple funny scenes in this show, and I'm like, okay, those bits were funny. Like, what was it where they tried to they fake out a dude to confess something in the police station that was even further than what they thought. They're like, wait a minute, what? Thing. And I forget exactly which episode, but it was a good little gag. But it's just hard for me to get into it because I just find that everyone else is very naturalistic in the way that I'm seeing on the clips. Andy Samberg always feels like he's acting next to everybody else, and that kind of irks me a bit.
Yeah, well, I mean, it gets to a point where all the characters evolve into their, like, stereotypes, basically, where they all become a little bit, like, I realize Amy is a little sillier now than she was before.
That happens a lot in these shows. They always get more goofy or more broad.
Andre Braugher is still amazing, though. Like,
so awesome.
He's
so
one of
great.
our all-time great actors for TV, so...
Amazing straight man, like just the best. And of course, Terry Crews is the great, like, gentle giant sort of thing. Terry loves his yogurt
Crews as himself.
Yeah, basically. And it's so funny because the show keeps finding people that are bigger than him to, like, intimidate him. Like, how do you keep finding people bigger than Terry Crews? Like, stop that. It's creepy.
The casting call.
What,
is
have they
limited.
brought Dwayne Johnson on?
Not yet.
Although he would actually make a fun cameo for a cop coming in, like, and solving another case or whatever. They always have those cameos of people coming in. I like it when they have the Vulture on, because he's played by the Mayhem guy from the commercials, which is always hilarious.
Hate that guy.
But yeah,
I will say one thing though too. Funny little detail about the show. I took a writer's course a while back, and we talked about how you do like pitch scripts for, like, you know, what if this was an episode for a TV show. Mm-hmm. And there's those two doofus cops. I forget their names. The guys who kind of
Hitchcock and Scully.
Useless. I think it's those two. Yeah. And one of my classmates is like, he wrote an episode that featured them heavily in the episode. Just like, what if we gave them something more significant to do here? And sure enough, like shortly after that, like a few weeks in that season, they did an episode that was almost exactly the same premise. So apparently they were thinking that too, with those guys.
Yeah, it's fun. They do a lot of the sitcom tropes of just, you know, like bottle episodes, you know, the lost relatives or lost father episodes. It's interesting, but they keep I don't know, what the writing and the way the script keeps the show moving. It seems to be surprising, the level of jokes that they can pull off. What else do I want to say? Oh yeah, I really enjoy a lot. I think the pairings of characters. They keep pairing up different characters together. Like, I realize it's probably not how it actually works, because they keep switching up who their partner is every other episode. But it's nice because it gets a chance for everyone to bounce off of each other, so it keeps the show from being boring.
Well, and that's the lifeblood of any good ensemble show. They have to work well with everyone else in the cast. If there's a weak link, then that's going to really be a problem. So.
And just Rose is scaring the shit out of anyone she works with.
Gina just being insane, because Gina's insane.
Let's see, what else did we... I should probably mention, I was going to do a whole episode about, like, because I was really enjoying the Runaways. I had watched the first 5 episodes as they were coming out, and I was like, man, this show is super good. It's based off of the comic book of where all the kids realize that their parents are supervillains.
Right, yeah.
And they have to, like, you know, run away and fight against them. In the TV show, they don't really run away up until later. Like, I'm on episode 10 right now, and they finally started to run away.
Jeez.
But they got to run back because one of them got captured right away.
They couldn't have called it the wait arounds.
Yeah. So I was watching, I was like, man, this is really good for the first, you know, 5 episodes or so. And, you know, they found one of them found their pet dinosaur, and they're, you know, developing like...
the raptor?
What's that?
Is it the raptor everyone talks about in that show?
Yeah, the raptor, yep.
Yeah.
I really like it. It's got this cool, like, nose ring sort of thing to, like, I don't know if it's control collar or whatever. But it's awesome. James Marsden Spike from Buffy is, like, one of the abusive, as an abusive dad in it.
Wow.
That keeps going back and forth of, like, how if he's, once he's kind of an amazing dad, and you're like, I want to turn everything around into I'm a monster again. It's actually a little
Does he
more...
use his fake British accent?
No, he doesn't use his fake British accent. So when I came back, I let a bunch of episodes pile up on me from episodes 6 to 10. And I was like, oh, I think I actually watched most of them this morning. And I sat here and I was like, huh, this show drove directly off of a cliff.
Ooh.
It fucking sucks now.
What did it
it's
do?
terrible. Ooh. I don't know what happened. And I was baffled. Like, I didn't believe it for the first 2 episodes. And I was just like, huh. Wow, now it's more morbidly fascinating than anything else. Well, they reveal the big bad that they had earlier, and he's being played by what's his name from Nip Tuck, and he's Dr. Doom from the Fantastic.
Julie McMahon.
Yes, and that's a great casting call of like, hey, we need a villain for our Marvel superhero show. Let's get the guy who played Dr. Doom in those Fantastic Four movies. Literally, no one likes. Mm-hmm. Like,
which will null him from being in the new Fantastic Four movie automatically.
Yeah, and then James Marsden takes a quick exit into the show, although he might be back. And I'm like, oh damn it, he was actually one of the better actors on here. And then all the kids start to act really stupid, like not like, you know, kids stupid, but like hey, aren't you guys like geniuses? Like, you know, multi-level like inventors, like one of you invented Iron Man pulse gloves or whatever.
Ooh, cool.
And they just start to act like really dumb. And like that they don't know that because they figured out that their parents were doing something shady really early.
Mm-hmm.
And at first they're like acting like, well, we don't know, like because they want to trust their parents and they want to make sure that they have it right before they go to the cops or anything.
Of course.
And that's understandable.
Mm-hmm.
But at a certain point later, it's kind of like, did you guys forget what you caught them doing? Like they're murdering kids. Like they're it's not like it's a small thing that your parents are doing.
They were jaywalking. It's fine.
I think what cinched it was this final, like this last episode I watched. They had a fight scene in the opening that is awful. Like it is really bad. Like all of the Arrowverse fights are basically better than it.
Wow.
Like it doesn't even reach Legends of Tomorrow level. Well, like it does that thing where the parents and the kids finally face off, and they all stand in a line.
Which you usually love.
Yeah, I'm all down for that, and that's how the last episode ends. That's how episode 9 ends, is them facing off in this warehouse. But of course, they're standing in front of a giant hole, and it's I want to call it, oh my god, it's the plot hole. But no, it's like the hole from Daredevil that they never really explained until Defenders, where it had like dragon bones or it was a portal to Kunlun or whatever. Apparently that's what they're fighting over in this show too, is they got a giant hole in the ground that they got to take care of and fill in. And I'm like, god damn it, it's like what the movies do with a giant light in the sky, like how all super movies end with a giant light in the sky.
Right.
The Marvel, I guess, TV shows have holes in the ground.
I don't know which one's worse.
The holes are definitely worse.
Okay.
They're not even visually interesting. And of course the teens line up and it's like, oh shit, here it comes. They're gonna fight each other, they're gonna finally fight it out. Except that they can't fight because the girl that's a witch that has like a magical staff gets the staff stolen from her immediately by her mom and can't do anything. The girl with a raptor gets the raptor tranquilized and sidelined immediately, so the raptor can't do anything.
Okay.
is that the whole this thing's too expensive, so we have to get rid of it for a bit?
Yep.
Thing.
The raptor is clearly like a lot of the CG is way too expensive, so they can't use it very immediately.
Why bother doing it in the first place then?
So why bother having them face off if there's not going to be a fucking fight?
Because everyone wants to see the raptor. That's the only reason. It's such a huge thing in the comics, so they have to have it in there somewhere.
Well, if they're gonna do it, like why? Because he shows up to the fight while disobeying them because they told him to stay in the car. Like, hey, stay in the car. We don't want people to see you. I'm like, okay, they don't want the raptor in the fight, so I understand that. Then the raptor shows up, like, oh, he disobeyed me. Cool. And it's like, that's not cool that it disobeyed you. No. What if it went and ate somebody? That's actually very concerning. But don't worry because the dad just tranquilizes it right away anyway. I'm like, what was the point of it even showing up if it's not going to do anything?
Sure, just kept it in the car.
You just wasted CG. Like, I want to see a dinosaur tear shit up, not just go to sleep. And then of course I think one of them doesn't even have powers. The other guy with the Iron Man hands shoots one laser blast, and then gets deflected. And then one of I think the one girl that has like light powers shoots a rainbow blast at them. And,
so we want to have a big fight, but we don't want to spend money on it.
Well, yeah, and then it's like, and I'm like, why are you guys like fighting one at a time? It's not a fucking wizard's duel. It's a goddamn fight for your lives. Like, just everyone put in on it. I don't understand. And then, of course, the main bad guy shows up, and he has some light powers, too.
Okay.
So they do this beam fight right out of Dragon Ball Z, where they're shooting, light beams and force pushes at each other. And it is just unbelievably lame. The parents are just standing there like, oh, no, don't hurt our kids, but they're not really doing anything. And I'm like, do something if you're actually...
you care.
If you're like, ah, man, this whole fight scene is so poorly choreographed. And then the kids are running away. One of them sacrifices themselves, like, run off, I'll distract him. And they distract the main villain. by like shooting, doing the whole light beam Dragon Ball Z fight. And then the other parents are like, run kids, run. We don't want the guy to get him. Like, then what do you mean to do something or follow your kids or I don't know, be active in the scene? Like, why are you window dressing? This is bullshit. So yeah, it's really bad. I don't know what happened.
Well, two things then. One, joke's on you because it got renewed for season 2.
Yeah, I know. That's one of the recent news stories that they just got renewed. Earlier, I would have been like, "That's cool," because I can't stress that I was trying to remember because it was been a while since I watched the first 5 episodes. Like, this show was good, right? Like, I didn't dream that. Damn.
Well, but the other thing, you're the only one I've heard really complain about the show. Most everyone else I talked to, they had their gripes with it, but they seem to enjoy it more than not. So I'm curious to see what is that issue then? Like if it is something that really is a huge, market drop in quality.
I actually messaged one of the TV dudes, Les Weiler, and talking about it because I wasn't sure either. I'm like, am I the only one that thinks that this show sucks now? And Les was the one that sold me on it too, of just like, no, the show is worse than even you think it is.
Wow.
No,
was he on the review for the TV dudes?
I don't remember if he was on the review for the first part of Runaways. But yeah, I don't know what happened. Like, it's
not good, huh?
I don't know. It's hard to explain because I can't really tell you. Like, it's a very complex plot that's very deeply involved. A lot of it is just stuff that's not paying off like you thought it would in the first couple episodes. The plan, whatever the parents' supervillain plan is, none of them actually know what it is.
Oh.
Only the main bad guy knows what the plan is. So you realize that not all of them are not very active antagonists. A lot of them are doing it just to save their own asses or to save their kids, to try and make them more sympathetic, And I don't know if that really works for the whole premise of, hey, your parents are supervillains.
Right.
But I don't know. I guess I'm just utterly disappointed. Anything else we wanted to mention before we go right into the news segment?
Nope.
I did have one thing where I actually caught the first episode of Happy from Sci-Fi the other day.
Oh, I heard that was very interesting. That's the one with Patton Oswalt as an imaginary unicorn or like Pegasus thing.
Oh, yes, and that's actually the least crazy thing that happens in that episode.
Awesome.
But yeah, it's one of those things where I'm very curious to keep watching, but I think I'm okay letting it stockpile a little bit right now. Just waiting for the episodes to build up because that first episode. Okay, let's just say this. The first scene in the episode is Christopher Maloney shooting himself in the head and blood spilling out while he's dancing around with strippers in some hallucinatory drug out sequence.
Sold.
And that's how the show starts. It is gonzo insane. And I mean, I've heard people who go back and forth on it where they say like, they really got the crazy down for the comic, but they're still trying to see if they can match the heart. Because that's the weird subversive thing about the comic where it is this gonzo crazy, but in the end, it's kind of a very straightforward redemption story. Like it's about the guy who's Christopher Maloney's character, who's pretty much just this unsalvageable prick of a human being. Just the one good thing about him is just, oh well, he's a bounty hunter who hunts down bad guys like mobsters. And it's the whole thing that the plot about chasing after this person who's kidnapped a bunch of children. With this crazy Santa guy, because of course it's got to be creepy Santa.
Of course.
But yeah, and then just. Is the stuff with the Pegasus who shows up. You see lots of sexy stuff, lots of violent, like super violent stuff. Like not even just regularly, but like nasty, gory, bloody, nasty violence. It's pretty crazy. And of course, they bring in what's his name, the dude with the crazy eyes from Dark Knight, who shows up in all the DC properties now.
Oh yeah, man, there's another actor. I always forget his name. Sorry, guy.
Yeah, no, I know. I think he's got an Armenian name, but yeah, the guy who's revived Jerome in Batman. I mean, in Gotham. So yeah, he shows up. He's like, oh, of course, he's a serial butcher dude. So yeah,
he's got the eyes for it.
You know what you're getting into with this show. But I will say this: Christopher Maloney is amazing in this show. Like he is every level committed to this role. Like I don't know what it is. He must have just read the script as like, yeah, I can do that. Are you sure? You mean there's this and this and this? Yeah, sure. you're going to be in a bathrobe for a good portion of it without any clothes. Yeah, I can do that.
Man, that sounds easy for me. I already got the bathrobe on.
I know, he's just so funny. So him and Patton Oswalt have a really good chemistry with each other through this thing. Which, I mean, not hard because Patton Oswalt was voiced over afterwards. But so yeah, no, I totally recommend it. If you the first episode's a good litmus test. You will know if you're going to watch the show at all or not if you can make it through that first episode.
Okay. Well, makes it easy then.
I think I'm in. I think you can watch the first episode on YouTube or something now for free. I'm not sure though.
I hope so. I kind of want to rewatch it just to see, like, did I catch everything from that episode? Because it feels like a lot happened.
Oh yeah, we should probably mention we're caught up on Steven Universe now too. If you want to go watch our Steven Universe reactions that are getting a little more traction on YouTube as well. We are very into Lars of the Stars and Stevani doing a castaway in space.
Yes.
That's some great stuff. But without further ado, should we get into the news here? Let's get to this just in with Justin.
And I'm here with the news. You know, the news and the cruise and the twos. I don't know, whatever want to write this thing.
Now you sound like Andy Samberg, just rhyming random stuff in Brooklyn.
I will not forgive him for Hot Rod. I'm just going to say that. So, moving on past that. There was a ton of news that came out.
Yep.
Like, the last 2 weeks have been, like, super dry because of the holidays and the award season and the scandals. Just nothing else was really coming out. But, yeah, we actually have quite a bit of stuff. I will say a little public service announcement. I mentioned this to Nick and Travis beforehand. Fahrenheit 451 is just put out a teaser trailer. There's not much to it, but dudes, Fahrenheit 451 by HBO Films with Michael B. Jordan and Michael Shannon in the lead roles.
Sounds interesting.
Wow. I am very excited. And this is like top 3 favorite books of mine for like all time. So just be excited.
Or die.
Or die. So there's been a few, various news. Star Trek Discovery, apparently one of the big themes they're going to tackle in for the season 2, which did get renewed, and it won't probably come out for another, however long they're going to do it. But it's going to be a very big science and faith dominant theme they're going to discuss with it. Which, okay. I mean, that's always been something in Star Trek, is the conflict of religion or faith with, this very science-happy future kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So, that's cool. I mean, there's not a whole lot there, but I'm just saying that's going to be something that will be brought up. And I think, if I remember this second half of the season, they confirmed what people were speculating about possibly them going into the mirror dimension. Or the mirror universe, whatever it's called. Okay. So,
sure.
Yeah.
Well,
if I was more of a Trekkie, I would care. But
hopefully they'll finally answer, why does God indeed need a starship?
Why does God need a spaceship?
God damn it, Jim, you can't question the Almighty.
So they announced some of the names of the characters from Solo, a Star Wars story. Okay. I was going to say a Han Solo story, but that's redundant. Through the Lego toys they made, of course. Because that seems to happen a lot more now, where it's like, yeah, we're going to spoil huge stuff just by putting out the toy lines.
Hey, you got to make that money.
Mm-hmm.
So it was long rumored that Woody Harrelson's character was going to be named Beckett, which is now confirmed that his name is Tobias Beckett. So that's cool. And I'm assuming he's more or less the mentor for Han Solo. That's kind of what they hinted at.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I actually like that casting as Han Solo before Han Solo, Woody Harrelson.
Oh yeah, I mean, and Woody Harrelson almost never does any wrong for me, so I'm excited. Also, there's the character that Emilia Clarke is playing from Game of Thrones. It was rumored to be Kira, which is correct, but not spelled the same way. It's spelled Qi''Ra. Okay. So. I don't know if that means that she's an alien, or maybe...
I think that's just her gamer tag.
I still say, like, can't we just have, like, a Twi'lek main character? That would be kind of cool,
They don't want to spend money on the prosthetic. I don't think they ever got that prosthetic really actually down to where you can actually move around in it, where it wouldn't look weird.
And, they named a few other ones. Thandie Newton's going to be in it as a character named Quay Tulsite. These Star Wars names just get more and more insane. Then we got Philly Waller-Bridge, who I believe is from Fleabag, playing, DDBD, the new droid.
Okay.
So, DDBD, Debbie.
Debbie, it is now Debbie.
Yeah. And then, of course, the usuals, that is going to be Alden Ehrenreich as Han Solo, and then Chewie and Lando Calrissian with Donald Glover. So
cool.
Yay!
Last I
Yeah,
heard
the
that
full
they were
cast
actually
lineup.
going to do the Kessel Run in that movie. They were actually going to show it.
Yep. Apparently that was also unveiled in one of the toy lines too. Which, all right. I mean, someone made the point. It's like parsecs are a unit of distance, not time.
Yep.
But you know,
Let's just double down on it. Let's just
go full on.
I mean, if I guess if the Kessel Run is a distance race, that's one thing. But
maybe they'll have a cute one-off joke that they throw off of it. I don't know.
yeah, maybe someone like it got misquoted and that became the tagline that Han Solo just like, sure, parsecs, yeah, that's my thing.
One of the droids like, well, actually, sir, shut up, never tell me the units of
Don't
distance.
you droid-splain me.
John Williams will score Episode 9 of Star Wars. Not a real surprise, but just he doubled down and saying, yes, I'm coming back for that.
Cool, always good to hear.
Yep. Star Wars Rebels is returning on the 24th of February for the season 4, which will be the final season of the show.
Yep. It was, that's pretty good. I've been enjoying. Have you been watching Rebels, Justin?
I've watched a variety of episodes from it, and I do like what I see. I wish they didn't have such hideous art for it, but it's really, really good story. Like, it's the storytelling we need and want from Star Wars movies, you know?
Yeah, the 3D animation is not my favorite either, but it really kicks it up and gets really good, especially near the end of season 2, going into season 3. It really gets going there, like the Maul storyline, and when they introduce Thrawn, I'm really excited to see how it finishes out.
Thrawn is amazing. Like I've seen a bunch of the Thrawn clips, and he's really, really good. So. Yeah, again, it's like, how is it that this show gets what makes Star Wars good, and the movies seem to struggle so hard? I just don't know. But hey, that Black Widow movie is actually going to happen.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yep, so they hired one of the writers from the Blacklist, and they said, yep, we're penning a script, we're going to get this developed, and at some point, we're going to see it.
Oh, the Blacklist.
Yeah, that's the one downside. It's like, look, maybe she's written other stuff. I think it's a she, it's a he.
Yeah, I think it's a she in this one.
Well, of course, I'm sure they want to really do the whole, like, you know, make sure a woman writer writing a story about a woman assassin. I mean, not that makes them qualified to write a good script, but, you know.
Well, I mean, I don't know who would write a good spy thriller script, but the Blacklist is almost close to a parody of spy stuff, of like how ridiculous it is. So,
well, it makes it clear that probably Jane Spader will have like a background cameo somewhere. You know, just like, did he already play Ultron? Yeah, we'll work it. Don't worry.
He'll play the guy that the Ultron was based off of, and that'll be the spy. Someone's trying to get Ultron technology. That'll be the spy thing in the background.
Dude, that would be so funny. Yeah, it's like Ultron searched the net for an identity and a voice, and he just found the coolest voice, and there was whoever Jane Spader character was.
I really liked Boston Legal. Ultron really into the Denny Crane and relationship there.
No, it's a good thing he picked the right voice because he could have been voiced by Shatner instead. So
that would have been a different kind of entertaining.
I will destroy the Earth with an asteroid. God throws a stone.
Boom. Start over.
I mean, it might give him a little bit more time to solve the problem then. Mm-hmm. As long as you're not listening to a monologue.
DeWanda Wise, who's coming off of that Netflix She's Gotta Have It series, just joined Captain Marvel as well. I've not watched She's Gotta Have It. I've heard mostly good things about it, except from Les, because I think he slammed it in his review that he did for DB Dudes. But hey, Captain Marvel's still moving forward too. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Great.
T.J. Miller will not be replaced in the new Deadpool sequel. They pretty much confirmed, like, look, you know, whatever the investigations on some of his bad behavior has been and whatever, he's still in the movie. We've shot all the scenes.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Can't really do much about it now.
They're kind of stuck with that.
We'll have to see what happens with Deadpool 3. They might kick his ass out.
I mean, to be fair, he's not really an important character in the story. He's just that guy. He's just T.J. Miller, you know, in Deadpool.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe we can get to finally get Hydra Bob in there. Hydra Bob!
Speaking of Deadpool, Tim Miller, apparently he's developing a Kitty Pryde solo movie.
Huh.
Which, okay, I mean, sure, you know, Shadowcat's a beloved character in the X-Men comics, but...
Not in the movies. I mean, I don't
no,
think anyone remembers her.
They've had to recast her 3 times. Yeah. Because what?
I'll tell you what. You give her Lockheed, and I'm in. You give her tiny alien pet dragon, I'm good with it. Go for
that's
it.
amazing. Why didn't I know about that?
I'm sure that will happen. I have no doubt now. So there'll be no new Marvel shows on ABC for this next year, which, I mean, sure, they're doubling down on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and everything else.
Wait, I thought, wasn't Cloak and Dagger coming out, or is that Freeform?
Oh, that's Freeform.
Freeform, you're right.
Yeah. And which, strangely enough, Inhumans has not been canceled yet, but just give it some time. I'm sure they'll come out.
It'll get there.
Really? It has not been canceled? Are you 100% sure?
There's been a few shows. I mean, I'm sure the Fox Disney deal has shaken up quite a few things, because, I mean, this was earlier news, but The Gifted got renewed again, for second season. So I'm sure they're still trying to decide what their slate's going to look like now that they own all these franchises.
Yeah, Marvel really been, now I'm thinking about Inhumans and stuff, like Marvel's really been swinging and missing lately with their TV shit.
Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. apparently had a great season last season.
Yeah, I'm not caught back up on it, so.
Yeah.
Like the new stuff. Meh.
Speaking of stuff they're going to have a hard time figuring out what to do with, Legion is going to premiere in April on FX. And Legion is a pretty crazy show to begin with, so supposedly it's still kind of set in the Marvel Universe, but not at the same time.
I'm in episode 4 right now, and I don't think it's set in any Marvel Universe that we know.
Okay. But yeah, apparently there's going to be a huge time skip between season 1 and season 2. They just confirmed that, which I'm iffy on those. It depends on how. Like, Fargo managed to pull it off mid-season because at least it still tied the story together. But yeah, we'll see what happens. But then they replaced, because originally it was going to be Side Tagmaoui, I think his name, from Wonder Woman, who's going to play the Shadow King. But he dropped out due to schedule conflict, and now they replaced him with Naveed Negaban. And a big actor from Homeland. So, okay, they're sticking with Middle Eastern Arabic casting with this stuff. And then, of course, because of all the stuff, Bryan Singer's been removed as the executive producer on Legion. So, yeah, not really shocked there.
No.
Well, from what I hear, he was just an unbelievable prick to work with to begin with, so.
Yeah, it's just, I think people are just fed up with him now. Apparently Flash is going to introduce the villain Hyrax, who's normally a Arrow villain to start off with, but that's all I know because I have no idea who Hyrax is otherwise. I think they're exhausting the Rose Gallery of both Flash and Arrow. So it's like,
I don't know who Hyrax is.
Well, that is scraping the bottom of the barrel then.
Can we get Condiment Man in this? Is that okay? So 3 Billboards had an amazing last week in terms of its awards run. I mean, this is stuff that you'll hear more about on my exclusive One of Us podcast, I Am the Prize. Tune in, it's for free. But yeah, 3 Billboards won the Golden Globes, and it led the wins for Golden Globes with 4 wins this last week.
I mean, I wanted to see that movie,
including,
so it looks interesting.
It's so good. It won acting prizes for both Frances McDormand and Sam Rockwell, which totally surprised everybody. Because it's like, yeah, he's really good, but everyone thought Willem Dafoe was going to win for the Florida Project. But yeah, it's really, really great. And then it's among the leading nominees for the BAFTA nominations, the British film nominations. And BAFTAs are usually a pretty good indicator for things that will make it onto the Oscar shortlist. Yeah, so I think that, Shape of Water, Darkest Hour, we got quite a few movies that are going to make it onto the Best Picture prizes there. So I'm, of course, me being the super nerd with that stuff, I'm very excited.
We don't care over here.
I know. But that is also to say, go watch 3 Billboards. It is amazing.
Yeah, that's definitely something you can take away from it.
Yes, indeed. So apparently, Ali Carvalho, who, the main character from Moana, she teased that there's going to be a Moana cameo in Wreck-It Ralph 2.
Huh. That's fun.
Cute.
Yeah. I was kind of surprised by that. Just like, okay, hey, I mean, I loved her in Moana. Yeah. She was really great, but I just didn't suspect that would be a thing.
Well, you're welcome then.
Yeah, I know. We're getting into some of these little minor stories, and I'll pick up the pace here. But so another Who Cares story. Apparently, Todd McFarlane is doubling down on the whole Spawn movie. That's going to be, the reboot that's going to happen.
Jesus Christ!
But he makes a big point. Apparently, Spawn will not speak in this new movie as a big thing. Like, oh yeah, you hated all of his dialogue in the last film. Well, guess what? He's not going to say anything in this movie.
Trust me, it was not just the dialogue we hated.
That's actually probably not a bad idea, though. Having a main character not speak, giving some stuff over verbally, that's actually not a
though.
Horrible
Do you think
idea.
that he could do?
Yeah, but it also requires talent.
Could he do visual storytelling?
No, what I'm thinking is that they're going to actually put some surrogate character in there to do all the shitty dialogue.
Yay! It's not really going to fix the problem.
No, I mean if
we'll bring back that kid character.
I don't know who's directing on this one.
McFarlane is. He's making his directorial debut with this movie.
Yeah, we're doomed.
Always a good idea.
You didn't get that already.
There ain't nothing good coming out of that one.
No saving it.
Abandon all hope here.
I agree. Apparently Millie Bobby Brown from Stranger Things is going to play Enola Holmes in a series of adaptations from the book, which is the sister of Sherlock Holmes.
Oh.
I don't know much about this book series, but hey, she's going up the ranks. She's getting older, trying new roles. Mm-hmm. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I hear she also solves cases, but for only half the recognition and pay. So I think that's the only difference.
Well, with Sherlock being such a drama queen, I'm not surprised. But I would love it if it was actually set in the Benedict Cumberbatch version, just like his long lost sister that you never knew about or something. Or although I think didn't they hint that he was aware of another sibling that they had? Or
I forget. I know him and what's the Minecraft is. I want to say Minecraft, and I'm like, that's not right.
Yeah,
that's not right. But I know that they talked about their family life. Like we've seen their parents a couple times, but I don't think they ever actually mentioned specifically a sibling. But I'm not caught up on the latest series, the series 4.
Sounds like not a lot of people are, because I guess it was terrible, or everyone forgot. I'm not sure which.
I've only heard nothing but bad things, and that first episode was very weak.
Yeah, I didn't hear great things about it either, so I'm a little tepid about revisiting.
Yeah. Apparently they're developing a new biopic on Hattie McDaniel, the actress who won the first Oscar for a black performer in Gone with the Wind. So, hey, that's cool. I mean, say what you will about Gone with the Wind being dated and, racist, but in the sense that it was the culture of the time, in the South, because it's depicting Civil War South.
Mm-hmm.
But Hattie McDaniel was really great in that movie. She's an iconic character that unfortunately influenced a certain stereotype of the black help, but she still acted her guts out in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Gambit sounds like it's just doomed. It's a cursed project because Gore Verbinski has dropped out. They've gone through now like 3 or 4 directors up to this point.
Sad, because I'd like a Gambit movie.
Yeah, I mean, and apparently they made the big announcement like, we're going to start filming in March. Just watch, we're going to get ready. And then this happened. They're like,
nope.
Crap.
What's holding them up?
I
is
don't
it
know
the pink jumpsuit? Like, is it the pink tights over with the trench coat over it?
I'm sure it's still going to get made because, Channing Tatum is still very much committed to this role and he's not going to back down.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll just see what happens. It's going to be, even longer for that. Scott Derrickson and Cargill, C. Robert Cargill from Spill and, acclaimed book author now, they're doing another movie together. Said no one who was surprised. It's just, Cargill apparently made a big tweet about that. Just like, hey guys, guess what? We're going to do another movie. Aren't you excited? And it's like, sure, you've done, 4 movies together already, so why not?
Cool. Is it we got word on what it actually is?
No. They just... it sounds like they like to keep their projects tight to the chest. And I mean, because I know Chris has alluded to projects that he knows Cargill is working on, but under secrecy, he can't talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure now Cargill's just at least making it clear it's like, we're probably going to announce whatever it is at some point soon, but just let you know it's coming. So... it sounds like it's probably going to be an original project. If not that, then maybe that Deus Ex one they've rumored about forever. But I don't know if that's moving forward or not.
Yeah, hopefully the first good video game movie.
Yeah, I doubt it.
One can only hope. So apparently we might actually get Fargo Season 4 after all.
Oh.
They just announced at a recent interview that, we don't have the exact details yet, but we're aiming for a Season 4 sometime in 2019. So.
Well, that's good. I heard that was up in the air for a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, and it's still very loose details on it, but, I'm hesitant on that because I tried watching Season 3 of Fargo, and I really wasn't crazy about it. So...
yeah, I'm not caught up with the twin season, with Ewan McGregor playing twins.
Which is funny because he just won a Golden Globe for that role. I mean, and all the actors are good, more or less, in it. I think what's her name for The Leftovers is a little overrated in that role. Mm-hmm. I didn't really think she was all that good. But... It seems like Fargo just can't please me, where it's like Season 2 I liked overall, but it had a bunch of things that I wished were better. Where it's like, okay, trim down the characters, make the plot a little bit more simple, and, try something new that wasn't all this experimental garbage.
And more aliens. Definitely more aliens.
Well, and they addressed almost every complaint I had, but they did it wrong. I'm like, yeah, I wanted a simpler plot, not a underwritten plot. Or I wanted fewer characters. that I liked. So, yeah, we'll see what happens there. There's a bit about a character's returning in Westworld Season 2, but I'm not going to say it in case it's a spoiler for anybody, which it sounds like it is based on the headline of the article here. So
Probably, considering there's a couple people's fates that are a little bit up in the air right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not going to say who, just there's a few returning characters they haven't announced yet who will show up in Westworld Season 2, which I just started Season 1 recently because I bought on Blu-ray. It's a very good show.
It is
really
a
enjoyed it a
very
lot.
good show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun stuff, that's for sure.
So you know how Brian Fuller can't seem to stay on a project longer than a season? Apparently he's going to not change that tune because he just jumped ship onto Anne Rice's new adaptation of the Vampire Chronicles. You know, the Vampire Lestat, An Interview with a Vampire.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So we'll see if he can last longer than a season on that one. But, I mean, I'm excited just because I love those books, at least the first few books of those. It's just, I don't know, it's like now American Gods is kind of in turmoil, and I mean, he's got that other show coming up on Amazon, and we'll see what happens there. So,
yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, I don't mind those stories too. I mean, I actually like Interview with a Vampire. I kind of like, because Anne Rice was the first one to really make the whole vampires as sexy kind of predators of the night sort of thing.
Original Dracula established that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this one was more like, you know, Dracula was very much the actual like player monster, and then Anne Rice's is the sensitive bad person with like a dark past sort of thing going on.
Yeah, I think Anne Rice has influenced modern vampires more than anybody. Like,
Yeah.
you know, what we know vampires as today, for sure.
That would be definitely something I would agree with. For better or worse, it is the
Sparkling.
it's where the Twilight stuff comes from for sure. It's like that in the DNA, but also most modern vampire stuff is basically taking from there.
And she certainly made vampires gayer in those stories, but
Well, come on.
No, I know, but that was just one thing that started to sink my interest in the books. From like, look, I get it, you're trying to experiment new stuff with it, but gosh dang, the stuff with Armand takes so much of the book at one point where I'm just like, I get it, it's free love. But,
Well, when you're exchanging blood and fluids and stuff like that, you just experiment. And plus, like, you live for 1,000 years and just try sexual things out of boredom.
you know, it's funny because it makes me think of The Office with Creed, where it's like, oh, sure, I understand that. When I was in the 70s, I had sex with many women. You know, a man might have slipped in there at one point. Who knows?
There's a lot of cocaine.
Yes. So that Chilling Adventures of Sabrina TV series that's the spin-off of Riverdale is still moving forward, and they just announced the person who will play Sabrina is Kiernan Shipka from Mad Men, who played John Hamm's daughter in the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, you know, she's all grown up now. She's a young, beautiful woman, and they're going to have her play the lead role. They confirmed that a lot of the main supporting characters will be in there, including Harvey, you know, everyone's favorite love interest for her. Because nobody cares about Josh or those other, you know, pieces of toast, you know, white bread toast from the previous shows.
Toast.
And it's aiming to stream later this year. So they haven't set a firm release date, but it is coming this year.
I got spin-offs. They're like, should I watch Riverdale?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Apparently, Riverdale is just high-quality trash. That's what everyone I know says about it. It's like, yeah, I enjoyed it. It's garbage, but it's fun garbage.
We already have Gotham for that, though.
I don't think... okay.
Yeah, don't even argue with me on that one.
I don't think it's garbage.
It's garbage. I love it, but it is kind of garbage.
Well, it's like that soap. Like, I guess what your definition of trash is. Like, if Riverdale is that like soap opera like bullshit.
Oh yeah.
Then that'll be what it is. I don't know. I don't think it's the same thing as like, say, what we watched recently, Guardians, the Russian superhero film.
That was awesome.
Oh, you watched that?
Oh my god! Everyone who, if you are a fan of Mystery Science Theatering, like getting a bunch of friends together and just doing the Mystery Science Theater thing of making fun of a bad movie, that is like one of the best ones I have had in a while.
And for some rereason we didn't record it. It was like,
I really regretted we didn't record a commentary for it.
We regretted that in the first like 5 minutes. We're like,
man, we regretted it in the first 5 minutes. Like when the bad guy that shows up and looks like a discount Bane shows up. So like we're all doing the Bane impression. Of course, then the man bear pig, and they introduced the concept of full bear mode.
Bear mode was
full bear mode. They like Justin. Seriously, they find the bear guy. They find him in a cabin in the woods, and they have to do this fight off thing. And then he's got like a lab where he's testing on himself. I'm like, Oh my god, he's completely Bruce Banner. He's Bruce Banner if he just turned into a bear rather than a Hulk. It's unbelievable.
That's amazing.
But yeah, it's real fun.
Yeah. So then Matt Letcher, who was the Reverse Flash on the Arrowverse, has just joined Narcos for the new season. So that's cool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not specific on which character, I don't think, but they made the point that it's changing locations to Mexico this next season. So I'm sure he's going to be like maybe some DEA agent or somebody else from like, American law enforcement.
Mm-hmm.
That seems about right, because I don't think you can pass off as a Mexican in that role. You should be white.
All right, so
sorry.
Is there? All right, so we're running a little bit long here. As we have any?
I know, yeah. Sorry, just gonna hit some few pointers. Fly the Conchords might get a special coming out this year.
Mm-hmm.
If you remember that show from the old days. Glenn Howerton apparently is not leaving Always Sunny in Philadelphia. He's made it big clear, like, no, I'm not leaving the show. I'm just taking a break to this other show, and I'm coming back next season. So, okay.
I'm surprised that Always Sunny is still on. Wow, a long-running show.
13 seasons.
Jeez. Damn.
A bunch of shows got renewed, including Young Sheldon, the Gong Show with Mike Myers.
I actually have a morbid curiosity of the Gong Show.
Yeah, that's just odd. But then she's got to have it on Netflix. Runaways, as we mentioned, and then Future Man, that one with Seth Rogen and the kid from Hunger Games.
Yes,
we better get a season 2 of Future Man.
Good.
We gotta like after that, how it ends and that fucking cliffhanger, we gotta fucking get back in there, guys.
Mm-hmm.
And then who is it? Oh yeah, here. Gilly Anderson. Not only is she not coming back for X-Files, she's not coming back for American Gods. Apparently, she made it big clear that yep, I am not returning for that show. So because Brian Fuller left.
Oh, okay.
So again, like I said, American Gods is kind of facing turmoil right now. It's just like everyone's leaving. What's going on?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then just a couple notable deaths. One of the biggest one was Donnelly Rhodes from Battlestar Galactica. He was Dr. Coddle on the show. He died at 80. And I know I told my mom that because she was a humongous fan. It's like, oh, that guy, he was always so funny. But, that's how it goes. And then Jerry Van Dyke, who was the brother of Dick Van Dyke, passed away. He was a long-running comedian and actor as well. Mm-hmm. And then the final bit of news, MoviePass is really, again, making big strides. They added 500,000 subscribers in 30 days.
Wow.
So they're currently at 1.5 million subscribers.
My goodness.
Yeah, Christmas was very generous to MoviePass this year.
Yeah, if the movie theaters are actually going to do something about them, they better do it pretty damn quick.
Well,
yeah. So that's everything you need to know. Oh, also, by the way, for things that you probably should avoid, Teen Titans Go is getting a movie this year.
Yeah,
the trailer just came out.
Yeah, we talked about that last episode. Teen Titans Go to the movies.
Rotten hell. Ooh, I have one fun little short news story that Nick will hate.
Mm-hmm.
There's another game remaster was announced. I think it was today or something.
Another one?
Partially to, I think it was partial due to Nintendo Direct.
Mm-hmm.
The original Dark Souls is getting a remaster.
Oh, cool. They gotta rework that one, because that game sucks.
Maybe it won't look like garbage this time. Because, that's the thing, is like, Dark Souls is a good-looking design of a game, but its graphics have always been terrible, I felt.
I don't know, I think I made a mistake starting off with the Dark Souls and what was it, Dark Souls that I started off with?
Yeah, you started with Dark Souls 1, the one's being remastered.
Yeah, because those games, like, I know that they're super popular. For me, they felt like always like a trick of the audience, like, oh, we're gonna make it to where bad controls and really bad navigations for menus and item selection are all a feature, rather than in other games they would be a detriment.
And yet there's 4 of them, so...
yeah, because people are dumb. But I hear the other ones are fun though. Like I
tried playing those games too, and I had the same problem where I'm just like, I appreciate a challenge, but I have no idea what I'm supposed to do in this game. And I get you're supposed to figure it out, but there was a point where I literally am like, I literally have no idea which path to take, and I tried all of them, and they all kill me, and I don't know how to figure them. I've
had this argument all the time before, Justin. It's just, that's the challenge, I guess. It's get good is the response I always hear.
I only have so much time in my day. I don't have enough time to get good.
Games don't need tutorials anymore, or any kind of hint system.
I don't know, lately I've been playing games that over-tutorialize, where it sits you with, like, by the hand, be like, here, let's figure every single part out. I'm like, can I just play the game? No. Okay.
Yeah, it's still better than
Yeah,
no
I mean,
tutorial. Like, that's
Even Uncharted 4, like Uncharted 4 has like 3 intros that teach you the game over and over again. And that one, I'm like, it's all part of the story, but man, I feel like I just want to get over and shoot some stuff now. Come on.
I'd rather have something in between.
But yeah, with that, I think we're going to wrap up the news story here. Thank you, Justin.
Thank you.
We're going to take a small musical break and get into trailer talk. But before we get into there, would you like to tell the people where they can find you and your stuff?
Yes, you can find my stuff in New York, so don't come over here. That's mine. But you can find me. Yeah, you can find me on oneofus.net. I write the notes for the Subscriber Breakfast Pub podcast, where we talk about news and trailers and pretty much a longer version of this. You know, they go more in depth, and Chris Cox is so much funnier than me. But oh, you agree? Okay. No, but
It's more of an acknowledgement.
I was an acknowledgement, rather than an agreement.
You said it, not us. It's fine.
There's a subtle difference. You'll get it.
There is. But then, like I mentioned before, I also have my own special podcast called The Eye on the Prize, which is all about the award season. It's me, Ian Butcher, and Shaquille Lambert. We get super nerdy about the movies that are making waves on the certain award circuits and stuff that's really gaining favor, stuff that's losing favor. It's a very niche topic, but we try to make it as engaging and conversational and fun as possible.
Nerds.
And we just
That should be fun with the Golden Globes happening, though. That should be you must have had fun on your recent episode, huh?
Oh yeah, well, because the previous one we just talked about the nominations, so we're recording tomorrow, at least tomorrow by the time of this recording. We'll talk about the winners, we'll talk about the BAFTAs that I just mentioned, and a lot of stuff happened this last week. So,
Great.
you know, because actually the Oscar nominations, their voting just closed, it closes tomorrow as of this recording, so the nominations will come out on the 23rd. That'll be a big day for us, too.
Gotcha. All right. Well, that sounds absolutely amazing. Everyone go give that a shot if you would like to hear Justin on some more awardsy season stuff. I mean, I love to hear how passionate he is about just the regular news. You don't even want to hear some of the award season stuff. So some charts, like charts in the background, just crazy.
Somehow, visualizing it through this content, it's fun.
I mean,
Yeah, no, trust me, it's more fun than just, okay, first place is this, second place is that.
Well, no,
But,
if that's all it was, then you just watched the show.
yeah.
I mean, I have superhero movie theories, Les has time travel theories, and Justin has award season theories. I love it. I love we all have our string board in the background of like conspiracy stuff. That's pretty fun. But we're going to take a small musical break, and we'll be back right after this.
Yo, Tom from Toonami here. You're listening to the UGO podcast, and I hope you all are ready, because Trailer Talk starts now.
And welcome back to Trailer Talk, guys. It has been a while since we've done one of these. We let them back up on us a little bit.
No.
It is horror movie trailer talk time, Travis.
Bad movies.
Yes,
Yeah.
we're going to be going through it, but I think you'll be excited by some of these.
Really?
Yes, and yes, indeed. We're going to start off with the ones I'm very excited about personally, and that is...
So it's a bad... We're just going right off the bat. It's a terrible movie.
Oh, boy. Travis, you make fun, but you haven't seen the trailer yet. Don't judge. Don't judge. Don't
Oh, I'm not
prejudge.
judging the trailer. I'm judging you, actually.
You're judging my sense of taste.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
hey, that's something you have previous experience with, and then thereby is in your right to judge. But don't judge this trailer just because of what I think of it.
Well, how about this?
It is not a guilty by association.
How about we give me the name of the trailer first, and then I can start judging.
Truth or Dare.
Judging so hard right now.
So, I think there's actually another horror movie that's called Truth or Dare, now that I think about it.
Sounds all right.
Yeah.
Or was there another one about Truth or Dare?
I don't know. I think Madonna might sue for the rights, though.
Possibly.
But she's got like that album, whatever.
I don't know.
Not a big Madonna guy. But yeah, without further ado, let's give this one a watch.
It's not a castle?
That Olivia
Like actually in a
is
castle?
in love with your boyfriend.
Like it very medieval.
Stop.
Penelope.
Dare.
Make out with Olivia.
Let's get this party started.
Every Truth or Dare game always has that.
Well, yeah.
What are your intentions with our sweet Olivia?
I needed to find someone with friends that I could trick into coming here.
Wow.
I could tell Olivia was an easy target. I brought you all up here because I'm okay with strangers dying if it means I get to live.
What the hell?
Being's real. Hey, wherever you go, whatever you do, it'll find you.
Well, that was quick.
Okay.
Yeah. Something really weird has been going on.
Blumhouse, baby.
That actually
Makes sense,
more
right?
sense.
Come on.
I'm serious. I'm seeing things. Truth or dare.
Whoa.
I know it sounds insane.
Just a little.
This fine young lady here dared me to show you my business.
Seen it before, not impressed. Carter said,
burn.
tell the truth or you die. Do the dare or you die.
Refuse to play. You know what? Screw this. And you die.
Oh, 1 second. Okay. Okay, for those listening, we never do this. We usually let the trailer play the whole way through. I'm gonna rewind just a second.
He wants to watch that guy kill
Just
himself.
a second. One right there.
We're not playing the game. It's playing us. So what do we do?
Only choose truth.
Marky's constantly cheating on Lucas.
Nice.
Wait, I'm sorry. Touch me again and I'll break that hand.
Is that a dare?
Truth.
That's not how this works. Only the game decides.
Okay.
No, that's
Break
the opposite of
Olivia's
truth or
hand.
You
dare.
have to do it.
Look, as pissed as I am at you right now, there's no way I'm gonna break your hand.
Well, you don't really have a choice. God, just do it. This game is too smart. Half the people in this photo are now dead.
We need to find what started all this.
How do we get out of this game alive?
You're not.
You can't. It only ends when all the players are dead.
Well, that's boring.
And your turn's next.
Dare me to choose which one of you to kill.
Truth or dare?
All right, so that was the trailer for Truth or Dare, guys.
I mean, they made funny faces.
Oh my god, they made such funny faces. I love the whoever producer was like, hey, you know that thing in the Black Hole Sun video where everyone gets like slightly bigger eyes and like their smiles are weird? I want to make a whole horror movie about that. Like, that's what really scares me.
You know, Alita Battle Angel could have shown up. We wouldn't have noticed them.
Yeah, oh my god. That smile that they do is so... I know it's supposed to be creepy, and it is at first.
And then it kind of becomes cheesy.
Man, it becomes really funny somewhere in there.
Well, the more time you see it, the more times you're like, well, it stops being scary because you can't keep showing something and have it still be scary.
I want to look up quick the movie here to see what the director is and stuff, because I noticed it was the makers of Happy Death Day. Remember that one?
Yeah, well, that was a good movie.
Yeah, but maybe it's more like that where we didn't. Happy Death Day was a surprise because the trailer made it look like a completely different movie.
Right.
So I'm wondering if maybe that'll be a similar thing.
It doesn't... I mean, it could be. It'd just be really weird.
Yeah, the director is Jeff Wadlow.
Wadlow?
Made Kick-Ass 2,
okay.
Pearl Harbor. Wait, no, he was a writer on that. No, he was a writer on all these. Oh, this might be his first directing job. Let's see.
Huh?
Yeah, I don't think this might be his first directing job. All right, I don't understand the whole idea of like, hey, only pick truth. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I could see that where people are, what truths are they willing to conceal by doing crazy dares.
Right.
But then the game goes like, no, only the game decides. I'm like, guys, that's not how truth or dare works.
I mean, I guess it's not. It may not be an established rule in the movie, but it's an established rule in real life. So you can't break an established rule and be like, "Aha! See, we tricked you."
Even the title says truth or dare,
not just
truth,
dare.
not just truth and dare. Like,
yeah,
because then it would be like, okay, well then one turn is truth, one turn is dare, or whatever. If the game can arbitrarily decide, then what is the point?
Right, because then the game could just kill you at any moment anyway if it's already going to break its own rules.
Yeah, it's like, okay, so, yeah, there's no option for me to choose, like, and do they choose, like, I guess they get allowed to choose in the beginning, and the game's like, nah, we'll just, man, it looks really dumb.
The Happy Death Day trailer made me actually want to watch it, because I'm like, that's an interesting premise, and this one's like, this is really dumb. I
still kind of want to watch it because I cannot believe the fact that they decided like, oh, this smile, people will really be disturbed by it. I think that was really a weird move.
You think that's maybe just when the actor smiles like that? And they're like, no, smile normally. This is my normal smile. Or we're going to make everyone else look like that just to even it out.
I mean, I like the beginning of it feeling like a discount It Follows, where it's like, I need to infect all you guys with the game, so in order to not die, even though I guess later in the trailer it says like, nope, the game only stops when we're all dead. And I'm like, okay, well, at least there's one out where you can go and get more players, I guess.
As long as you keep going, it doesn't kill you. So yeah, it does seem like a really bad version of It Follows.
But with that, I don't know, I guess I have nothing more to say. I found that fucking funny as shit. Should we move on to our next one?
Is it worse or better?
I'll let you decide.
It's not how the game works, Nick.
It's not how the game works. No, I'm actually letting you decide. So, we have our next trailer. We have, continuing with our horror tradition, we gotta go even scarier. We gotta do some Sony horror films, because we know how great those are.
It's very terrifying, yes.
So you know Slender, right? You've played that game, right? You know the lore.
Fuck that! I could barely watch you play it.
You remember the lore of the Slender Man, the internet meme that became a horror icon. Well, they're finally making that movie.
Which surprised actually took this long.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's a big pop culture, and teenagers are really big into it, and that's the big audience for horror films, like younger people. So,
I mean, you'd say that a meme shouldn't be made into a movie, but the Emoji Movie exists, so the gates of hell have already been opened, dude.
I mean, I am actually really excited. I think the Slender Man premise is very, interesting, at least for the game.
It's one of the only modern, fairy tales, essentially.
Yeah, it really is like one of those. It's like, Bloody Mary or one of like a really old wives' tale or something like that, but like made relatively recently. So that's pretty interesting. Those Slender Man is based off of the creepypasta story that it was first created from, or it was a picture contest actually, where it was like just creepy long armed guy in the background of with kids playing in the front or something in the foreground, and then they expanded on and on with this mythos of like, oh, if you think about it, like if enough people thinks he's real, then he becomes real, sort of thing. And then like they made the game where it was like the longer you stared at him, the more insane you went, which disincentivized you from looking at him in the game, which was a good idea for like to keep the tension up,
but also made him more real the more you actually saw him.
So Sony is finally pulling the trigger on a movie version of him, so should we give that a watch here?
Sure.
So let's see what's going on here.
Hey,
woods. Seems about right.
Well, as long as the trees aren't raping people. It's not usually Slenderman's, motif.
Where is my daughter?
I just want to watch Ash fight Slender Man.
That'd be awesome. I don't need to look at you to use a shotgun. Okay.
It gets in your head. Like a virus.
Oh no, Sony's making another film. No!
That escalated quickly. Just be growling noises the whole time. I wonder what she's writing.
She's got long black hair. Ever since The Ring, it was like we decided the scary hair. Guys, we just saw this from Truth or Dare.
Yeah.
There we go.
Finally. Don't look, bitch. Still going, wow. I feel like this trailer's starting over.
I think the trailer's driving us crazy. All right, so that was the trailer for Slender Man.
Actually, you know what I'd rather see, rather than Ash fight Slender Man? Spider-Man fight Slender Man.
Spider-Man, Slender Man, Spider-Man.
Man versus man.
God, that was boring as shit.
Super boring. Like,
that was, oh my god, guys.
It was like they basically just cut and stitch of various generic horror shots together and like, oh look, there's a Slender Man.
Wow.
Yay.
I don't want to be one of those guys that,
I will.
That, you know, is like, well, it's not like the game. But Jesus Christ, Slender Man doesn't even show up until like the last couple seconds of the trailer, which I guess makes sense, like the not looking at him thing.
Yeah, but the rest of this has nothing to, like, it's just all generic shit.
You wouldn't be able to tell what movie it's from.
No.
If we, like, I mean, I wish I hadn't told you in the beginning to see if you couldn't guess.
Except for I know that the trailer came out, so.
Yeah.
But still.
Holy crap, I cannot believe how generic that rest of that trailer looked. Like, there's one Slender moment in there where the girl's behind the tree and is like, yeah, that feels about right. Most of this is me coming from playing the game or whatever, which I thought was very, creepy.
Well, very atmospheric.
And then, of course, we see the girl coming out of the woods. Like, is that what happens after Slender Man catches you? Or I thought, like, you died, but I don't know. And I know he does make you crazy or whatever, so the psych ward thing sort of makes sense.
Yeah, except she, like, spells out him. I'm like, okay.
I don't know. I mean, maybe it is that Slender only works in a game setting where you have a very simple premise. There's almost no story in it, and you just keep going and trying to get these notes to survive.
What do you mean? Horror movies don't usually have horror story either.
Yeah, but they try and pretend that they have story. Yeah. Like, that's where they fuck up.
I mean, to be honest, even though I hate horror movies, like, if they did this in an interesting enough way, I probably would have went and watched it, and this does not look like something I would even bother trying to watch.
I think Slender would make a better short story where just someone trying to get out of a forest and really, like, figuring out the Slender Man lore and figuring, like, what the fuck is this thing? And it's like, oh, and he figures out that, like, the more you look at it, and then by the end of it is just really trying to not look at it. Kind of like the Blair Witch, at the ending of the most recent Blair Witch movie of, like, don't look at it, don't look at it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what to say, guys. It's
honestly,
like, it's so generic. I can't even...
Just go play the Slenderman game. And if you've already played that one, go play Amnesia.
Yeah, well, should we move on to our next one then?
I hope it's at least passably good.
All right, next up on the docket is...
And possibly least, although that'd be hard to do, to be honest.
Travis, we have a Nicolas Cage movie, my friend.
Okay, I stand corrected, actually.
Now, do I have your interest now? Yeah? Okay.
He's always interesting. You can never say that. He is not interesting.
The Rage in the Cage, baby.
Oh, Lord.
So we have a trailer for a movie called Mom and Dad. So I don't want to actually give too much away about this one. I want Travis to experience this one just cold here.
Oh, boy.
So we're just going to go right into it, okay?
Oh, boy.
Hey, can I go to a movie with Riley tonight?
With Riley?
Your grandparents are coming for dinner tonight, remember?
Awesome. Grandpa telling his disgusting Vietnam stories.
Take my advice, don't ever have kids.
Everything
Wow.
just revolves
Thanks, Dad.
around you, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Love you too. Also take my advice about not getting into trouble with the IRS. What'd you just do?
What's the rush today? It's like we're waiting for a buffet.
What's going on? Is that McKenna's mom?
Okay. So it's a parental zombie
now
movie?
coming in of parents murdering their own children.
Listen to me. We have to get out of the house before Mom and Dad come home. Dad?
God, he's on full cage.
Your right foot in. You take your right foot out. You do the hokey and you.
And you fuck what?
Okay.
Yes, it's Mommy. Mommy's here. Are you two all right? We're not coming out, okay? You have to leave.
You're going to open the door. This is a really great idea, honey.
I forgot your parents.
That was tonight.
Okay.
So I feel like a good weekend would be to watch this and that Kindergarten Zombies movie.
Yeah, you remember that one where it was the kid zombies?
Yeah.
Yeah, that like this is the exact opposite version of this. Mm-hmm. So it's like they're zombies except they're fully functioning. It's like that movie The Signal where everyone just goes nuts.
Mm-hmm.
I am really digging it.
Of course you are.
Because of one specific element. 3 guesses.
Nicolas Cage?
3 times. Oh my God, he is amazing in this trailer. You put your right foot in, you take your right foot out. Like that. Oh my God. Yes, that is so fucking nuts. I want to see Nicolas Cage. Like, Nicolas Cage being your father would be a nightmare enough. Like, just... And then he's you know, him run at you with a sledgehammer, like freaking out. I love he can't even keep contained during like the ruse they're trying to pull of luring them out.
Well, it's Nicolas Cage. I doubt he could do that on a normal day.
Honey, I need you to not go full cage right now. We're trying to lure our children outside of their safety. Yeah, to murder them. So I really need you to work hard on that.
I can do it. Yep. Mm-hmm.
I was wondering, like, if they realize that their parents are nuts from the school onwards, it seems like, why would they even go home? That seems like an odd choice to make.
Where else would you go?
I mean, I don't know.
Home field advantage just to a certain point.
You know, and so we got, Selma Blair as the mom. I don't recognize the kid actors at all. I don't know, I really like the premise of, like, the flipped around kind of, antagonistic relationship between the kids and the parents.
Right.
Obviously they got to take it a little less than seriously, otherwise that's a dark story of parents murdering their kids.
It would probably end very quickly of like, well, most of the children are dead now.
Mm-hmm. Like you don't want to follow that logic through of like how many infants just got murdered in any hospital or whatever.
Like that's not a fun story.
It's a premise as if they slow down and let you think about it for a minute. It's really sad. Mm. So hopefully it just stick and moves. But yeah,
I think the grandparents should come into that or not.
Right. Like, does it work on older people too? Or like, what's the age difference?
Or
does it work
do
on
the grandparents come in the last minute and kill the parents because they would be killed? They'd be their children.
Right.
And then the kids get out of it.
Do they team up with the grandparents because they don't? It only works on the direct descendants. Right. Like, do they team up? Like, okay, we'll
take. Putting way too many rules into this. Do they get uncles involved? What's going on now?
I don't know. I'm curious. I swear, I'm super curious at this point.
I feel like we do watch this movie, which I know you're going to watch it no matter what.
Come on, man. You can't tell me you don't want to watch that.
I can.
You don't want to watch Nicolas Cage beat on a billiards table or whatever with a fucking sledgehammer?
Honestly,
sing the hokey pokey?
I could actually live without that, believe it or not.
That you monster. Well, like, you don't have any joy in your life. Like, come on, man.
If we're gonna watch it, there should be something we have to do a recording of.
Man, that would be a good fun commentary too, probably. I don't know. I don't like to do commentaries of movies we were first watching. I always like to watch. I have at least one of us have watched it before,
which is you.
Yeah.
Well, you go ahead and watch it in theaters, and then decide if you're going to force me to watch it or not.
That sounds fair.
Take your brother to see it instead.
Anyway, we're going to take a small musical break, and we'll be back with the regular episode right after this. Right after this.
Sledgehammer!
Open this door! Open this door! Give me the podcast!
And welcome back to the UGO podcast, guys. Oh my god, I am so excited, Travis.
Yeah.
Still. You know I always love when we have guests on, especially guests as lovely as our own Otabro Ed. Otabro Ed, say hi.
Hi, everyone. Yes, I'm indeed lovely, even though all you will see is my voice. Yes, you will see my voice. It is that lovely.
I mean, they've got those visualizers that let you actually, see that kind of thing, right?
That's all you need to see when it comes to Ed, my friend, because he has his own podcast, the Otabros podcast. You want to tell the people a little bit about that?
Yeah, the Otabros podcast. If you probably know if you heard me on UGO before, but it's a weekly anime podcast. We do it on Twitch now, so you can see me if you tune in at Tuesdays 8:30 sharp, because we're always super sharp with that. No, we're not, but yeah, you can catch us there.
All right, yes, and we've had Ed on before to talk about some previous anime. I think we've talked about Attack on Titan before.
Yep.
As well as a couple other episodes. If you want to check out our Netflix and Kill on Death Note, that was pretty fun as well.
I don't want to relive that movie whatsoever. Ever.
But
I was so mad. But
I'll tell you what, let's talk about something a little more awesome today, because we're talking about My Hero Academia.
The first incident was in Ching Ching City. After that, reports of people with superpowers popped up across the globe. Before long, the supernatural became the totally normal.
I'm gonna be a hero just like him!
Sorry, kid, it's not gonna happen.
I'm a normal kid without any powers.
Yes, you've got some very impressive quirks.
Is it possible to become a hero even if I don't have a quirk?
The school's already crappy. You really want to embarrass it more by failing so hard?
I'm not gonna give up.
Opportunity. A chance to shine. To show what you're really made of.
See that, Mom? There's always a smile on his face, no matter how bad things get.
Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention that this is the story of how I became the world's greatest hero.
Or by its Japanese title. Ed, why don't you take that one?
Boku no Hero Academia.
Okay, I might have gotten that right. I might have pronounced it right.
No, it's more hard than you think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I was looking at it, I'm like, nah, you know what? I'm just going to kick that one to Ed.
Wow. Not even trying.
Nah, not today. I didn't wake up early enough to try and do any pronunciation like that today. But yeah, it's for those of you who don't know, it is the anime that is currently making the rounds on during the anime fandom. It is really popular. I don't know why. It's almost like superheroes are a very popular brand nowadays.
Couldn't see that. Don't buy it.
Ed, would you like to tell the people? Ed, would you like to tell the people a little bit about what My Hero Academia is actually about?
All right. In a nutshell, it is about our main character. Deku is what his nickname is. But he lives in a world where people have superpowers that they call quirks. And, there are professional superhero jobs out there. And that's all he wants. He wants to be a hero. But unfortunately, he is born without any quirk, and he's a nobody, and people make fun of him. But his pluckiness and sheer, true essence of heroism impresses his idol, All Might, who takes him under the wing, and through anime bullshit, gives him superpowers. And the story is Deku's path to becoming the world's greatest hero.
Yeah, speaking of All Might, man, I love All Might.
All Might's awesome.
Dude, All Might is awesome.
All Might's great. He's like this mixture between Superman and Captain America of virtuous hero type guy. But he also has a very interesting, because we find out that he's actually not quite as powerful as he used to be. He can only be this hero for a half hour at a certain point.
Mm-hmm. There's a certain time during the whole day he can have his hero form, which I actually really like that, because he got that as a battle injury. And when they introduced that, it was super cute when Deku was he was such a big fan. He was like, "Is that from this fight? I thought you were whatever." It was. I love how big a fan Deku is of just heroes in general.
Oh yeah, he's got a whole notebook. He is
notebooks. He's
one of us.
Multiple notebooks. He has an anthology.
He's got stats. He's got his own, like, it seems like he has his own, like, fantasy league of, like, superheroes and
I forget who was it, but one of my friends kind of like referred to him as Batman because of how like much information and how like many like plans and strategies he comes up with because he studies his opponents. And it was also like he had no powers, but he was still destined to be a great hero. But then Batman got Superman powers, and that's what Deku is.
Basically,
he is both of them combined in a plucky, spirited high school boy.
Yeah. And yeah, he's part of the, how many percent, like 20% of people in this world don't have quirks, right?
Is that how much? I thought it was less than that, to be honest, but...
Honestly, I think it's less than that. At this point, it is way more uncommon to not have a power. That's why it was so rare and, like, shocking for him.
Although it does seem like people have, you know, varying levels of quirks. Like, I think his mother can just, like, has very basic telekinesis.
Yeah, no, she has super weak telekinesis. She can like make things float around her.
Some people have some lame quirks. Like there's some X-Men to Morlock thing going on here.
There's a lot of quirks that actually like make your body change.
Yeah, there's a lot of different like quirks that like one of them is a bug girl, the other one is like a mountain, the other dude has like 8 octopus hands or something.
Well, out of all the superhero stuff I've seen over in Japan, usually their superhero stuff is more like the Sentai variety. This very much feels like it's very Western influenced to the point where it's hard not to see shades of X-Men and, you know, Marvel comics in here.
Oh yeah, for sure. This is definitely Western influence. I mean, All Might himself is straight up American with his blonde hair, blue eyes, American flag suit, like.
With his antenna hair. I'm not sure what the hell's going on with that, but I really like that aspect of it. Of like, it's so familiar to me, being, you know, engrossed into especially those X-Men comics of just like, oh yeah, this feels about right. I feel like this. Oh, the only thing is that it actually has class rather than the X-Men, which like treats the X-Men like they're at a school but never actually teaches them anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how much they like actual knowledge. They still don't teach much here either.
Well, you know, they at least spend time in class and not just the danger room like the X-Men seem to do.
They do have like proper written tests they have to pass.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we hardly ever we do see them in class every once in a while, but most of the time we have story arcs based off of like the initial tests of grading people's aptitude. There's, you know, entrance exams. There's like what's the main thrust of like the, was it in season 1 where it's like that big competition?
Oh, the sports festival.
Sports festival, yeah. Is that season 2? Okay.
That's the tournament arc is how season 2 begins. It was beautiful.
Right.
And speaking of like Western influence, whatever, did you guys notice how the towns in some places were named after Star Wars stuff?
I did not.
Yeah, I think one of the cities was Tatooine, and I think there was a Hoth somewhere in there. If you ever get a chance to rewatch it, like it's there, like.
Oh, wait, I might have actually seen one. I think I might have actually made fun of the Hoth one while we were watching it. But yeah, I really dig all that influence. Plus, the show is just very high quality with its animation, voice work. I think we've listened to both the dub and the sub.
Yeah, I've watched them both fully through of what's out right now, and they're both really good.
Yeah, and I really love the animation style as well as just the character designs of the characters. The characters look, I don't know, like they scare me a lot, like, but in kind of a good way. Like, you know,
I love the character designs. They're so Japanese anime, but Western costume, because they're costumes. Like, I really enjoy each costume each of the students have. Like, there's such a big cast of characters and students and powers and people in Boku.
But the nice thing is that they're all discernible. That you can be like, yeah, I know who that is. At least I know who what their power is.
Yep, and of course we got a lot of crazy, side characters. Not only Midoriya, but we got his friend Bakugo, the insane, I don't know, rival.
Lord Explosion Murder?
Yes, that one.
Man, Bakugo is a very interesting character in that I just don't quite get him yet, and I'm not sure if I ever will fully get him, because he's so fucking, like, angry the whole time.
He's Captain Butthurt. I love it.
He is so, for some reason, he hates Midoriya, like, with his whole being. Like, his whole passion in life is to shit on Midoriya, for whatever reason.
Pretty much, and anytime Midoriya does something that either is similar to what Bakugo could do or better than Bakugo, he flips his lid like, that fucking punk, I'm going to murder him. Yeah, no, you're supposed to be a hero, right? Don't care, murder time.
Yeah, with Bakugo, it was, they do explain it a little bit in season 2, and they will further on, I believe, but he believes he's the best. He believes he was the best, and Midoriya, Deku, was the absolute worst. And then when he became super OP and had powers, he had to believe that he always had them, and he was just pretty much like not seeing Bakugo as perfection like he thought it was, and that Deku's actually stronger than him. And so his hatred for him is wanting to be better than him because he feels he should be better than him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I do like that any psychology, like hopefully they have some sort of psychology major in the school or some sort of, psychiatrist or something, because Bakugo needs to be like mentally analyzed, I think.
Yeah, no, I was always surprised there wasn't like a psych evaluation of the school of maybe this guy would be kind of a villain if you like train him properly. Maybe we should not.
Definitely, at some point he's going to murder somebody. That is going to happen.
No, Bakugo, while super butthurt, he is a good guy. He's just really angry.
I'm not sure of a good guy, but he is a hero. Like, he doesn't, like, you're always expecting, like, maybe he'd turn into a villain because he's so angry, but he never seems to even be tempted towards that.
Not really, no.
Like, so that's very interesting to me. We also have, Ida, that, the super fast Flash guy that has engines in his legs.
Yes.
Yeah.
And a stick up his butt for the beginning, at least.
I mean, I like that aesthetic of having actual engines in your legs that he can overheat to get, like, an extra boost of speed.
I love how it's a family trait. Like, everyone in his family have motor legs.
Yeah, well, apparently quirks are,
Somewhat genetic?
At least somewhat genetic, because
you can, like, breed quirks.
Well, we see
that was a thing.
Well, we see a guy later, Todoroki, that has ice and fire powers, and he's been bred specifically to have those specific powers.
It sounds so clinical that way, bred.
Well, that's what he did. Like, that's his whole storyline, is that he was bred for that. And that is, he's got a really complicated relationship with his father and mother, especially his father, who's like the number 2 hero.
His half dozen siblings too were not perfect, and they just kind of get ignored.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Before we go too far into the sub character tree, let's talk about Midoriya just a little bit, because it's one of the things I like about the general plot structure of the show is that it really avoids a lot of the anime type pitfalls with, All Might's introduced as this all-powerful character. He can do anything. He has the strength of, like, how many past different people. Like, that's his
power, yeah.
Yeah, that's his quirk, is the all for one, which he can, it's like an accumulative power thing where they keep passing on power and power to, people down the line. He can give his power to a new candidate, and he's chosen Midoriya, which is cool because Midoriya is like, he has no power, but he wants to be a hero, so now he has access to the most powerful power in the fucking world, and he can't control it. So he keeps like busting his legs and like really hurting himself.
Yeah, he gets hurt a lot in this.
Well, the thing is that Midoriya is like nuts. Midoriya is crazy.
Oh. Okay. Bakugo, Midoriya, and All Might are all clinically insane people.
I mean, but to live in that kind of society, you kind of have to, man. Like,
no, they're over the top, even compared to other people in this world.
I mean, Midoriya wants to be a hero more than he wants to live.
Oh yeah, for sure. He literally ran into a giant muck monster in the first episode. even though he knows he could do nothing, but his legs just made him run.
I'll tell you what, even though, like, I think he's insane, that, like, when he runs at that blob monster without any powers and, like, uses his backpack to flip off, I'm like, that's actually really badass.
Right.
Like that was unbelievably, insanely kind of cool where he goes to try and, save Bakugo.
And
of course,
just because I think you said he had one for, all for one, but he has one for all. Yeah.
Sorry.
That is important. There is,
yes. That comes in later. I'm sorry. It's the other half of the Three Musketeers motto. But yeah, it is very interesting that power, because it also helps us with the all-powerful character. Like, oh well, All Might could just come in at any moment and save the day, no matter what goes wrong. But All Might's losing power. Like we actually see him. In the beginning of the show, he's actually nowhere near his full strength even then, and he just keeps losing power. Meanwhile, Midoriya is gaining control of the power, so they're on a course of like how strong they are. They're on this seesaw that's getting evened out. So for the story, that's actually a very interesting thing to keep it pretty on your toes and fresh as like some of these villains can be actually really dangerous, and it's not just the fact that any one of the Harry Potter teachers could come in at any moment and just save all the kids.
No, this Boku takes some real serious notes. Just All Might's general position he's in. He is literally dying, and that will happen at one point. He will die, and that's just like kind of like always cool to keep in the back of my head going. You're on limited time, buddy, and when that happens, shit's gonna go down, and I'm gonna enjoy every single second of it.
Well, he's even more similar to Superman in the like that he is a living symbol of peace. Like, just by existing, he keeps things more peaceful.
Yeah, he is the iconic symbol of peace. That's why he's like, I am dying. I need to like keep that torch there, because if I'm gone, the world's gonna go to hell just because. And the whole Stain thing. Oh God, Stain. Stain was Stain.
But yeah, that's basically where Midoriya is at, and I like the fact that we keep getting more and more of his power unlocked. Like, he can't use the power without breaking like whatever limb he's using. So he starts to limit it to like his fingers, where he can use like these vacuum kind of like air knockout powers, with just snapping his fingers, but it like breaks a finger each time he does it. So he only has like a certain amount of times he can do it before he starts to break his own fingers again.
Right.
That's why in the sports festival, when it was Midoriya versus Todoroki, that entire fight was just jaw-droppingly awesome, because Deku, like you said, he breaks himself to use his abilities, and he tries to go all out, and it's just, he's such a masochist, dude.
Well, in that one, I'm kind of like, dude, it's a school bout. It is not that, like, if it's a fight, like, in the, when he's trying to fight for his life, or to protect others, I totally get it. Like, yeah,
Nick,
go nuts.
You're that guy from gym class who was like, hey guys, just quit it. We're just in gym class. Like, why are you trying so hard?
I don't mean to be trying so hard of like, oh, why are you trying to make everyone look bad? Like, no, like, hey, don't kill yourself over a tournament thing.
This was more than just a tournament, Nick. There was turmoil, and he was saving Todoroki, man. He saved Todoroki, man. Oh my God, it's a great show and story, and people really should watch it and read it.
But also, you gotta remember,
that doesn't make the fact that Midoriya is taking this tournament way too fucking serious.
It was more than just a tournament.
Is that we call him that All Might is his idol, and it goes a little further than that, to the point where he is a little obsessive with All Might and will do almost anything All Might says.
A couple of soundtrack changes, and it's a cult / stalker film.
Yeah.
From Midoriya's perspective.
And so since All Might told him in the tournament, make yourself seen, make yourself known, he does that.
Oh, you're right. All Might does say that.
Yes, he does. It is.
You know what? Yeah, I'm going to put that one on All Might.
It is All Might's fault.
No, even All Might admits it. Like, he went kind of crazy because of that. That's actually a story and plot point where Midoriya admits, like, he's having trouble controlling his power because he's comparing himself to All Might when he has to go into it his own way.
Mm-hmm.
The show's so great. So great.
Yeah, the show is really good, guys. Like, it is pretty on point with, like, its themes, and really, like, the character interactions are all really good. Like, what I really like about all the sub-characters and stuff is that they all, of course, have their own gimmick. They have their own thing.
Mm-hmm.
There's, like, the bird guy with the shadow, Tokoyami, who's actually one of my favorite characters, even though he doesn't really have much to say.
He's fun.
I just really like how he looks, and it's just kind of...
Yeah, his aesthetic is awesome, and if you think he doesn't do much in the anime, he does a little less in the manga.
Oh, bummer.
No, they definitely gave him a little bit more screen time.
There's also Shoji has, like, he can make limbs of himself. Like, he can make ears and mouths on his extended limbs, and he has, like, this bat wing thing that's like, whoa, that looks like a Cronenberg monster became a superhero.
Which is great, because later on, like, actually it's one of the last episodes of season 2, you actually see a mannequin with, like, multiple arms, wearing a tank top. Like, okay, yeah, that would be a thing that would have to exist, because apparently that's a common thing to happen.
Mm-hmm. We also have man, I'm going to mispronounce this.
Uraraka.
Yeah, there we go.
Every time I say her name, I have to say it twice and then go hooked on a feeling.
I can't stop this feeling. But who else can't stop these feelings? Why, these two cute little kids, cause she is the, love interest for Midoriya.
Which, dude, when they solidify that in the second season, when she herself, like, realizes, do I like him? It was great.
As she's being sucked into a black hole, yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I remember that. And yeah, what's the frog girl's name again? Asui?
Su-chan.
Oh, okay.
It depends which.
Yeah,
Asui is their Japanese name, and then they call her Sue in the English one.
Oh, Sue, that's right.
Su-chan. Su-chan, best girl.
Mm-hmm. And she is, like, the toad of the universe, like, female toad, so that's fun.
I always love the pun that she can literally spill her guts, but it embarrasses her to spill her guts to people.
Yes.
That's funny. Yeah, and a bunch of these people have, like, really interesting, like, weird things. Like, Jiro has the earplug quirk, like, where she can jack into, like, subwoofers on her feet. I'm like, what kind of fucking quirk? Okay, I'm like, okay, I get electricity powers and, like, fire powers, but it's like, wait, earplug, or, like,
what
earphone
about
jack quirk?
Elbow tape Spider-Man?
Yes.
Yeah, that, like, elbow tape Spider-Man is, nah, we've called him elbow tape Spider-Man. I'm pretty sure that's his name now.
Okay, no, fine.
He is very interesting because he is basically just Spider-Man, but instead of using spider webs, it's just like, elbow tape.
Like two giant tape guns for elbows.
Yeah, we have, of course, what's her name, Momo or whatever, the creation girl that can just create anything.
Oh, Yaoyorozu?
Yeah, given enough time.
I just appreciate how you guys put more care into knowing these people's names, and I affectionately call Todoroki Trojan Fire and Ice Condom all the time.
You know what? I'm calling him that from now on. That's a better name. And to be honest, I have the fucking cast list in front of me right now.
Yep.
Because I didn't want to spend 10 minutes going, you know that guy.
The one with
the one I know?
The hair?
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
But with Boku, you kind of can, because they are very distinct. Like, you may not remember their names, but you know their either power or their appearance.
Yes.
Yeah, I love how they treat Momo like she's one of the more useless characters. Like, she doesn't really have a lot of confidence, and it takes her a long time to create stuff, so it's like her power is not that utility of a power in battle. And I'm like, she can make anything that's non-organic.
As long as she knows the makeup of it, yeah.
She's amazing. Like that's the most useful quirk in the world. Like she can
that'd be a god level quirk in X-Men.
That's why she got into the school on recommendation.
Yeah, and it's like even if the superhero thing doesn't work out, like I can't imagine like that power has to be amazing in any sort of scenario. Like
yeah, because they even have like a support team class in this school. I'm like,
yep.
Why wouldn't you join that? You could be amazing there. Like, oh, what do you need? I got it.
Well, even later in the fight when they're going against the teachers to in season 2, which is another great arc where the teacher the students team up 2-on-1 on the teachers, and her and Todoroki are going up against Eraserhead. That's his name, right?
Yes.
I always think that's wrong because I think of Hellraiser or something, and I'm like, no, that's Pinhead. This guy is the guy with the scarf.
Dude, I love Eraserhead.
He can erase people's powers by keeping eye contact with them. So she just makes flashbangs out of nowhere, and I'm like, yes, that's exactly how useful her power is. I don't understand why she doesn't realize how useful she is.
She just has a lack of confidence because she saw everyone else shine above her, like Todoroki, Deku, Lord Explosion Murder. Like, as OP and great as she is, that she went there on recommendation, she knows her stuff, just being overshadowed by everyone else kinda, I would imagine, shook her.
Yeah, she doesn't have the flashiest power, which there's a lot of super flashy people in her class.
Yeah, that's why in that episode when they fought the teacher, she just went along with Todoroki because it was like, well, he has been in these situations before, he knows what he's doing. I mean, I have an idea, but his has to be better.
Yeah, because he's like this, this genius or whatever. And yeah, I'm just really impressed with how well all the characters feel like they're fleshed out characters. Like, we've been watching a couple of animes, trying to find another one that we like as much. And I think we watched, Black Clover.
Oh
and
God, no.
And
no.
What was the other one? The Juni Tyson? Tyson.
Yep, Juni Tyson.
Juni Tyson? Okay, I forget how you pronounce it. And the thing I'm having a problem with those is that, like, man, these characters never feel like they escape their archetypes. And are like...
Well, in Juni Tyson, they die before they get a chance to do anything.
Sure. But even so, I feel like it's these characters. I'm like, wow, they're like 3-dimensional characters that have more than one personality trait, and I really like watching even just any of them hang out together. Like even when Midoriya and Bakugo are not on screen, I'm kind of like, no, I'm interested in what these other people are doing, and what their goals are, and what their wants, and like what basically makes them tick. I'm very interested in that. Even the teachers seem very interesting.
Yeah, that's the great thing about Boku. Its cast is, like, really large, but they do take their time to flesh out each of these side characters. Like, everyone gets their moment in the sun, like, and it's great.
Yeah, the one thing I gotta say about the teachers, though, is that why do half of them look like supervillains? Like, their character designs?
I want to say... Golden Age, Silver Age, Bronze Age, it's just that was what was in when they were in their prime, I would assume.
Well, I mean, Snipe looks like, okay, well, I guess he could be a good guy, sort of, but he's really scary looking. And then, of course, there's Ectoplasm, where I'm like, no.
He's a straight-up villain.
You have a supervillain look. Like, you look like a supervillain.
I guess maybe also, because there's so many heroes, that there's organization and everything, like they said, there's not that many, like, villains or like, people doing trouble because there's a butt ton of Supermen getting ready to take you down. So it's mostly just petty crime stuff. So if they don't have, like, big jokers, like, to plaster the news, I guess heroes could look more edgy and villainy just because the aesthetic is pleasing. If I'm trying to get all meta about it.
Just gotta stand out in the crowd.
Yeah, I do like 13 as well as like one of the more rescue-oriented heroes. Even though our power would be like, oh, well, I suck things into black holes. How does that helpful when you're rescuing people?
Debris?
Like, I would feel...
Rubble?
I mean, sure.
There's no people in that rubble.
I mean, yeah, but like, yeah, wouldn't that be a constant risk of sucking up an innocent civilian?
Not if she monitors it well. Like, I want to say they say the reason she got into, like... that field was because her power was too dangerous to use on people because she could kill people. So they couldn't like clear her for the field because that person's decapitated. That person lost a leg. Why don't you just go suck up that rubble to get people out of this earthquake? Yeah, just do that. And if you see a person floating, just stop.
I don't know. I feel like they might have sidelined her like what's his name from Moroku from Inuyasha when they realized like, oh shit, we gave him a power that can't be defeated. All right, bugs.
Yep, always bugs.
Always bugs.
Or poison clouds or whatever. But yeah, I really do like the subversions of a lot of anime tropes that they have in here. You know, the relationship between Bakugo and Midoriya is not exactly what you think it'll be. Like, there's like the growing respect thing for sure, but it's more interesting on Bakugo's side of it than it usually is for the rival, which is just like his insanity when it comes to Midoriya and how he has to justify it to himself every time Midoriya progresses in power is very interesting.
Well, I still love when they got their test results back and you find out that Bakugo actually does better in the written test than Midoriya. I'm like, you did that on purpose then.
I like, yeah, he somehow did better than Midoriya, which I'm like, don't get me wrong, I didn't think Bakugo was completely, like, stupid, but I'm like...
Midoriya is so meticulous that it would be something that would be really good at tests.
Yeah, I'm like, it's like, what did he threaten the test until he gave him the answers? Like, what happened?
To be fair, Midoriya, for a good part of the show, is, like, in recovery. Like, broken arms and broken ribs, probably got a little lackluster in the studying.
Yeah, what do you mean? There's nothing better to do than study when you're sitting in a hospital bed.
Sure, I mean, maybe that contributes, but that means Bakugo still beat how many everybody else in his class. Like, it seems crazy to me how well he did. But, let's see. Oh yeah, I also wanted to talk about scary Midnight Lady.
Oh yeah, the S&M teacher lady.
Yeah, yep. or basically Rohypnol superhero, because her quirk is to knock people out with her pheromones, and then to, I guess, sexually assault them in their sleep. Well,
that's what her costume would suggest, but I don't think she actually does that. Fingers crossed.
But you can't prove it.
I mean,
yeah, I can't prove it.
I mean, we never see it, sure, but. Oh no, I keep having that suspicion. Like,
if someone comes forward, it's not going to be a surprise.
I want to say that's just how she puts food on the table. When she actually gets home, she's like in the like dirtiest of sweats, and it's all like, oh man, all that's done. Ties up her hair, puts on big ass nerdy glasses.
I'm just saying she's probably the Bill Cosby of superheroes in this universe. I'm just saying, I'm going to put that out there right now.
I would give that to Mr. Microphone, actually. He always gave me off like I think it's his mustache.
Is it his pedo's mustache?
I think it might be his pedo mustache. Help.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about it either. But I do like that the fact that Midnight and what's her name, Momo, they have skimpy outfits, of course, of like Western style superhero skimpy outfits. But their skimpy outfits actually make a certain amount of sense because their powers are directly related to how much skin makes contact with air. Like the Midnight releases more pheromones the more skin she has, exposed. So she keeps ripping parts of her costume in order to increase how much pheromones she gives off. And Momo seems to be only able to create stuff via her skin.
Right.
So for bigger stuff, or
that sounds so gross.
I know it does.
It's made of my skin.
Look, a lot of these quirks are kind of gross when you think about them.
Oh, for sure.
Or you don't want to think about them too hard. Like, the dog, like the guy with the dog head, me and Travis were like, oh my god, how much of him is a dog? Does he have a dog penis? Like,
oh god, like, no, the fucking principal, dude.
Whatever he is.
Oh yeah, the Dumbledore of this universe.
Yeah, I think he's a legitimate animal who got a superpower to talk like a human.
No, I think that's what they say in his, in the second season.
Yeah.
Apparently he's just like supervillain level smart. Like, he's just unbelievably smart. But yeah, so I kind of like that they lean into the trope of the skimpy outfit, but like they give like a reason for some of them, so that's kind of fun.
Right. Whereas then there's the invisible girl who just like, nope, I'm only naked when I need to be completely invisible.
Yeah. Well, I do like her because we see her in the background all the time. Where
do you really?
She's just clothes. Like there's just clothes hanging off an invisible person.
Actually,
so that's pretty fun.
There's a giant conspiracy theory in regards to her.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I am very curious. Tell me.
Well, so part of it's like they want to believe there is a like traitor in the school, which makes sense because the villains like tipped off the media. They got through all these things like they knew where the heroes would be at certain points, like stuff that only staff or students should know. And people think it's Invisible Girl because she is like the only student who has did not have a moment to shine. Like they did not like specify on her yet. And there's times where like if you pay attention, she is missing. Like I know she's invisible and stuff, but like you said, you see clothes or you see an indentation. I think there was like a school trip or something where all the girls are in the room and Invisible Girl is nowhere to be seen, pun not intended. But there is giant conspiracy theories about whether or not Invisible Girl is a sleeper cell double agent or something.
Interesting. Like I'd be actually very interested to see how that shakes out.
Mind you, like that is just a fan theory right now.
Right.
But like if you look at it, like all conspiracy theories, it makes sense.
Sure. Like all conspiracy theories. But you know, I did hear that Bakugo did kill JFK now that I think about it. And that makes sense. I also have like the subversions of a lot of other characters. Like we have a character that can control people's minds, and he looks straight up like a bad guy. He looks like a supervillain.
Looks more like a stoner to me.
Yeah, and then but he really resents having an evil power. He's like, yeah, I have like an evil power, and it sucks because all I want to do is be a hero, and all I have is this fucking evil power that sucks. And it doesn't allow me to show off like being cool, like fighting to the death. It's just like it's controlling people, and it's kind of like, oh, you feel really bad for him.
Yeah,
like you're like, oh, poor mind controlling guy.
Yeah, like if anyone else had mind control powers, they might be a villain. This guy, he just wants people to like him.
He does need to get more sleep though, because I think that's what's contributing to his fucking evil look.
No, I think it's a side effect of the quirk.
Yeah,
that could be.
What's her name? The gadget girl as well. Hatsumi.
She's crazy.
She was my favorite of the whole like sports tournament arc or whatever. I've loved her.
She just keeps making shit for other people. Like it's like here, use this and show this off so that people can see how good my work is.
She straight up used Iida as a fucking test subject and just took that like fighting around to just sell her stuff like infomercial style.
Yeah, Iida gets to be used as the butt of a lot of jokes because he's kind of the straight man of the show. Although it gets super dark with his brother. Like, there gets to the storyline with his brother.
Like I said, Boku isn't afraid to go there, man.
Yeah, with the Killer Stain arc, like that's a very dark arc there, and as well as the villains seem very creepy and kind of and dark as well. I think if the one thing I had to complain about this show is that I feel like the supervillains aren't exactly as well thought, like well explained or well explored as the heroes are. But we get a lot more time with the heroes,
right?
So, because like, man, what's even his name? The guy with the decomposing power.
No, all I know is he really needs some chapstick.
Yes, he does.
For me, he's like, oh, okay, so he's got a neat design with like the hands on him and stuff, but he's like this middleman. Like, of course, like there's a guy behind him that's actually controlling everything, and he's like this mid-level management guy,
right?
And
I'm kind of Shigaraki.
Yeah, and I'm kind of like, well, then I know I'm just waiting for the real bad guy to show himself, and you're just the go-between until we get there. It's kind of hard not to feel like that. I mean, I do like the shadow dimensional guy that like
Kurogiri.
Yeah, that wears a tuxedo for whatever reason.
Yeah, he's
like,
so boss.
That's pretty interesting. I'm like, wow, what a dapper, a gaseous villain. That's very interesting.
I don't have to wear this. I could always be a cloud, but you know what? I want to look fancy.
Yeah, I like him. He's the guy that stays on brand. He's like, no, I can't have people talking about me running around naked. I gotta be looking dapper, man. And yeah, like so far we haven't had a whole lot of show. Like the seasons aren't particularly long. They're like what, 13 episodes each?
The second season ends so abruptly. I'm like, wait, that's it?
Yeah, well, they end on a let's all go shopping tour. Which of course,
but that's another point of where it's the conspiracy theory, because it was Invisible Girl who said let's all go shopping, and that's where Chapstick Dude got Deku alone.
Oh, okay.
That's a good point, actually.
Point.
Okay, I can kind of see that. I mean, it did feel to me like it was a random accident, like they were both shocked to see each other there. But I think they could always reveal that later of just like, no, it was actually a planned thing. Aha.
Yeah, that was another plot point in that. Thank you for reminding me of that.
But yeah, I really like all the story arcs, like the tournament arc, the sports festival. That was fun. I hope we get another like fight like that.
Oh, tournament arcs are always the best. Let's face it.
But this was a phenomenal tournament arc.
It was great.
Even the training stuff they do, like the heroes, like the students versus the teachers, like that's very interesting. It's all set up to be where they have to work with somebody that might complement them or not complement them to work together, like so they have to learn to work together,
right?
Or they might pair them up with a teacher that has a really hard power for them to fight, or something like that. So it's they really have like put thought into the show of like who would be interesting to fight who sort of thing going on, and I really like there's a obvious level of like a lot of thought going into there.
They even have like a little internship arc, and you even get some fun little episodes with the side characters. Like, remember Sue's with the Navy?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, no, people have been saying Boku is saving the shonen genre because they gave us a good filler episode.
Well, I like it because it's not super hard to actually do a good filler episode, and the fact that like it furthers characters, like they keep teaming up characters that weren't teamed up beforehand. Like, they'll shake up like who's hanging out with who so that they can kind of bounce off of one another. And it's just, good storytelling to be completely frank. And they make it look easy. Like, it's not that hard. All you gotta do is make compelling characters and then you'll watch them do anything.
It's true.
And yeah, I mean, I usually like a race usually isn't that interesting of a plot line either, but I love that race in the beginning of the sports festival. That race is hilarious.
Do you know, that race was awesome, and Deku using the shield to fly through the minefield, brilliant.
So amazing.
That was amazing. I was like, oh my god, I'm like he's so insane, but this is so working for me. I love this. Everyone else is avoiding the mines, but what if I piled a bunch of them together and used them as to launch myself up Looney Tunes style? And
they even make a point of it in the show saying like, yep, by themselves they're completely harmless. What is he doing?
Uh-oh.
And oddly enough, the person with engine in his legs does not win the race.
It's looking like he's trying to pile up a bunch of mines to kill himself, Cotton. Bold strategy. Let's see if it works for him.
I like how their class is the class that made him go, maybe this is a bit dangerous.
Right?
It was fine up until then. Everyone else was just going for, like, the grade, but these guys have something to prove.
Well, again, it's the whole entire thing. Like, no, I want to compete, but I also want to live. So, yeah, just gonna stick with life.
But yeah, the public hero school.
But yeah, even they used the opportunity of them teaming up to like, what was the game that they played where it was like 3 or 4 of them like together where they had to lift up one of them?
I think it's like Cavalry Horse Battle or something.
Yeah, it's like a big game of like chicken or something, like piggyback fighting.
Yeah, basically.
And that's even interesting of like what they do with that to team up people. And yeah, it's just it's them using every part of every part of the animal sort of thing. Like that's their level, their mindset when they're doing the storytelling. So that's what I think I appreciate most about it. We've been talking a little bit a while about it. Is there anything else we wanted to mention before we wrapped up here? Any last minute thoughts, prevailing theories of where the show might go, that sort of thing? Ed, let's start with you.
Overall, Boku no Hero Academy is awesome. It is revitalizing and rejuvenating the shonen genre. They do have short series, but that's actually a great thing. Great system they worked out. 13 episodes a year, complete a couple arcs, and let the source material continue piling up. It's phenomenal. Great characters, great action. Just go expose yourself to this right now.
Mm-hmm. Be like the Invisible Girl and expose yourself to the world. But yeah, I can't agree with Ed on that. I just find it very, it is like a shot in the arm for when I was kind of like, yeah, I'm pretty much done with the Bleach, Dragon Ball Z type, shonen.
Because you brought up Black Clover, like, Black Clover is trying to stay with the tried and true tropes, and it's going bad for them. Like, Boku found the formula that works for us right now.
Yeah, and I mean, that is my main complaint when we do watch Black Clover. I'm just like, it can't get out of the rut that it seems like.
It's so like Naruto. Like, there's so many parallels to Naruto in this show.
Oh no, it's magical Naruto. That's exactly what it is. You have magical Sasuke being all emo and angsty, and then you have magical Naruto being annoying as hell.
Yeah, I guess it's hard when when we've had so many of these anime before then, like, it's hard to like, oh, okay, what can we do new that's different? And My Hero Academia has been like, oh, we got this. I know what to do. And it's very interesting to see them like walk this tightrope and really walk it very expertly.
Well, again, they're not really doing anything super unusual because, again, it's just X-Men. It's just like, no, we're just going to take an established idea and then just do it well.
Right.
Shocking, I know.
Well, I just feel like there's a lot of effort going into the writing of this.
Definitely.
There is a lot of effort.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's you can always appreciate that. I always feel like that it really pays off for them. I really can't recommend this more to people. Like, even if you're not into anime, I mean, everyone's into superheroes, it seems like nowadays. And everyone at least has one anime that they like. So I feel like this is probably going to be right up your alley.
And if you don't, it's because it's this one.
Yeah, I got to admit, like, every time we watched My Hero Academia, I was just like, now it's hard because I'm comparing all these other animes to it, and it's hard to even enjoy some of these other ones that are perfectly fine, but just not pushing the envelope like this one is. But yeah, Travis, what do you think about it overall?
Well, I remember, like, I don't even remember how I actually ended up starting to watch this one. I just know when I first watched them, like, a couple episodes in, I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to show this to Nick. It's going to be the opposite way. Usually it's you showing me things. I'm like, nope, he's going to have to watch this. And I've been pushing this show on basically everyone I know that would want to watch shows. I'm like, no, watch this. It's amazing. Because, again, it is so great with all... I love character pieces, and this show does it in spades, where it's like, okay, you're crazy. Just keep doing things. I love your craziness. The teachers are all very memorable when they do show up, even though some only get a few lines in the whole entire show. And again, like we said before, even if you don't remember their names, because, again, Japanesey names with, a whole fucking cast of characters, you can still immediately recognize people. It is so easy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, before I get out of here, too, because I know people will get on me since I made this big complaint in Black Clover about the sexual joke in it or whatever. I'm not crazy about Minata and Mineta or whatever in the show. Grape head guy.
Yes. Okay, yeah. I typically don't like those people, but I enjoy Grape Coon. I don't know why. Just he's a little shit, but I love Grape Coon.
He gets to be very uncomfortable. Don't get me wrong, I've seen more uncomfortable, but like, it's funny because he's not really respecting women and basically harassing them sexually. Awesome.
You guys don't even know, like, the worst of it all. Like, an anime that aired last year had a legitimate pedophile as one of the characters. It was a high school boy who literally chased around, like, elementary school girls and said how they're the perfect ones and how he wants them. It was very uncomfortable.
Last year?
Yeah.
Come on, guys. Okay.
Yeah, it was bad.
All right, man. You know what, Grapehead guy? I'm gonna cut you some slack, I guess. He did have that cool fight against Midnight that where he showed his stripes there.
I like that one a lot, actually.
It's like, man, he can actually be effective. So, Yeah, with that, we're gonna leave that off with an uncomfortable, sexual proclivity thing. I think that's a perfect way to transition out of this episode. But thanks again for recording with us, Ed. It was an absolute pleasure as always.
Dude, it's always fun. I love it.
We'll have you on again, hopefully soon or something. Maybe we'll do another Netflix and kill with you if you would be up for that.
I would be. If not, at the very least, there'll be the second half of DC CW shows for sure. If I don't get an invite back for that, I'll be extremely upset.
I know you would. And that's half the reason I do it now. You think I watch Arrow because I want to? But thank you guys so much for listening. Again, if you want to listen to Otabro Ed on a more regular basis, check out the Otabros podcast on iTunes. It's great stuff for if you're into anime and want to know what the download is, what's new, what's happening. It's a good place to check out.
We will tell you not to watch Black Clover. Like, we could have saved you from that right there, man. I'm so sorry to hear that.
See, I don't even hate Black Clover. I'm like, it's just not quite.
Oh, you will hate it. How far deep are you in?
We're pretty much caught. Oh, wait, we're only caught up to the dub, I guess, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we're not. I guess we probably aren't all the way through. But with that, I now I'm very nervous. So that's great.
Well, now I'm kind of morbidly curious.
Great.
If you think main character's annoying, wait till you meet like 4 other people with more annoying voices.
Oh no. All right. Well, I'm going to be dreading that for a while. If you want to check out some of our back catalog on iTunes, you can go to the UGO podcast on iTunes. It's great. We have guests just as lovely as Otabro Ed. Every once in a while, more lovely. I mean, it's rare, but every once in a while we get a more lovely guest. I mean, No offense to you, Ed, but like it's hard. Like you keep raising the bar like this. It's
your show. Anytime you have a guest, they achieve a level of loveliness that you think cannot be achieved until someone else comes on and they become even more lovely than one before. It's
sure. I'm just saying, could you reduce the charming level you have by at least like 20%?
I cannot.
No, it's just full. You're full Ed the whole time.
It's his quirk.
I'm full Ed.
Full Ed. You know what? I like it. You do you, Ed. You live your truth. But yeah, you can check out that on iTunes and stuff. You can also check us out on our Facebook page. We can check us on Twitter at UGO Podcast. Our Instagram's the same thing. Check out some of our previous con pictures with some even My Hero Academia cosplay in there. That was always fun. We had a couple of those in there.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, the best way to help out the show is to give us one of those 5-star reviews on iTunes. It is free, and we read whatever goes in that review box on the air, word for word, whatever silly thing you want to write in there. Like, imagine some useless quirk that me and Travis have.
Or imagine Nick saying he loves Black Clover and it's his best anime he's ever seen.
Oh my God.
We made them talk about, rectal exams?
I think so.
Yeah,
maybe at one point.
Someone definitely had to put something in a sphincter. We made you read that for sure.
Yeah, the Otabros are weird like that. But with that, we're going to say goodbye to everybody. Bye, guys. See you guys next week. We're Unapologists, Geek, and we're out.